Hello, everybody. My name is Paul.
And my name's Clayton.
And you're listening to the Beyond the Pool List podcast. Woo woo, we're back.
Yeah, back for a second episode, man. I'm super excited.
We were going to record last week, but somebody got the flu.
Oh,
and by somebody, I mean me.
Yeah, that's you.
It was not fun. It wasn't bad. It was probably the best flu I've ever had.
That's a weird sentence to say.
It is a weird sentence.
This is people are going to tune us out already.
Dude,
man.
I love the flu. Let me tell you, best disease ever. right there with strep. I love not being able to swallow. It's great.
First minute in, and we've already ruined it.
So we've got a super exciting episode today.
Yes.
First of all, we got a bunch of books that came out yesterday. We're recording this on Thursday, so. We're going to be talking about Absolute Batman. We're going to be talking about issue 18. We're also going to be talking about Arc M, the single one-shot issue, because Clayton hasn't read it, and he did just read it for this episode. I'm so excited to talk about that. Oh, I should have brought it. We have our book sitting out, and I didn't bring it to look at.
That's okay.
We don't need it. And Clayton, you're going to go next. What all you got?
I am. I'm going to talk about all the stuff I didn't talk about last time.
Yes.
Because I drew a blank when you asked me what am I pulling, and I stuttered my way through. So what I'm actually going to talk about this time, I'm going to talk about Transformers, because that has been great.
Cool.
I'm going to talk about Superman.
Yeah.
Absolute Superman.
Okay. And
then Adventures of Superman, House of L.
Okay.
And there's some great ones, there's some mid ones, and there's some... so we're going to use our ranking system for that. Do we want to remind our listeners?
Yes. So our ranking system, really quick, we've got 3 tiers. We've got off the pull list, which means the book is so bad that we don't even want it. Take it off the pull list. It's not good. We may continue to review it. I don't know. It just kind of depends on our personal preferences, like me with Venom, unfortunately. We have on the pull list where it's like, this book is good. It's entertaining. I like it. I'm going to keep pulling it just because it's a good entertainment read, but I'm probably not going to go crazy for it. I'm just going to buy just one issue every week, and that's pretty much it. And then we have Beyond the Pull List, and Beyond the Pull List is going to be the best of the best, the top of the top books. So these are going to be, like, for both of us last week, our Beyond the Pull List was Absolute Batman, because we're enjoying the book so much. So that was kind of our... which, again, what that means is that we're going to be buying all the variants, buy all the figures. If you like this is a book you're going to buy everything for, which is how I am with any book, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's going to be our rating system. So, yeah.
Immediately, let's jump into the book.
And also, wait, real quick.
Go ahead.
Stick to the end. If you've read the title, you're probably like, wait, are you guys going to talk about Ultimate Spider-Man's in the title? Like, that book's over. Why are y'all talking about that again? If you aren't familiar, follow us on Instagram at Comic Nation 1776. That is our Instagram profile. We've actually, Clayton used to run it a long time ago, and he took a break. But now we're back on it, or he's back on it. And it's kind of our plug for the podcast. And also, we're also going to be making he's going to be making normal posts on it. And we made a post on Ultimate Spider-Man, and we kind of pushed the last episode, and a lot of people didn't like our opinions on it, and a lot of people are very mixed. So we're going to have a specific discussion today, and today only, about Ultimate Spider-Man and why is the fan base so split on it. But you're going to have to wait till the end of the episode, because we have a lot of stuff to review today.
Yeah, and this is the last time we're going to talk about Ultimate Spider-Man.
This is it. So if you want to hear our opinions, don't skip to the end, because we do have a lot of stuff to talk about. But if you're desperate to hear about it, I know you're going to skip to the end anyway. It's fine. I won't be mad. Yeah. But don't you want to hear us talk about Spider-Man Death Spiral? Because I got to talk about Death Spiral. That's coming out this week for me. And I'm actually not that hating on it. But I'm not.
What?
Yeah, it's weird.
That is crazy. An Al Ewing Venom that you're not hating on?
I still don't like Al. I still don't like Spider-Man's editorial team. Joe Kelly's okay, I guess, but I've not been reading it, so it's we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. So our first Beyond the Pull List book is Absolute Batman.
Holy cow.
We both are, man, we're dying to talk about this.
This book is insane. So first of all, do we want to talk about Arc M first?
Yeah,
or do we talk about 18?
So we can talk about Arc M first, since that's kind of older.
Yeah.
But from this point on, we are going to be talking about spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. So many spoilers.
Yes.
If you haven't read it, then you better
pause the podcast, go read it,
come back.
And come back.
Yep, come back. Bring a Mountain Dew when you come back. It's great. I'm drinking one right now. Hear it. That's going to sound good on your ears.
You didn't know this is Beyond the Pull List ASMR.
Hello, and welcome to Beyond the Pull List ASMR. Let me I don't know if you could even hear that. All right. Arc M. Tell me, you take it away, man. I'm dying to hear what you have to say.
Okay, so I read it today, actually. And man, that twist at the end is incredible. So basically, for summing up what happened in the issue, it is the story of Arkham Asylum in the Absolute Universe.
Yes.
And so you have Amadeus Arkham, and he is telling the history of Arkham Asylum.
Yes.
And he's going through, somebody's come in, it's like 1945, they're about to sell the asylum because it's got a lot of bad memories associated with it. This guy comes in, and he's saying, I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to turn it into something different. And so he's writing, Amadeus Arkham is writing a journal.
Yes.
And you're reading the journal entries throughout the book. And he is saying he was an orphan, and eventually this orphan came to the asylum with blood covered
in blood. Well, also, he started the asylum because of his mom.
Because his mom shot.
That's the craziest opener I've ever read.
His mom. So when he was a boy, it was the Civil War.
Yeah.
His father gets killed in the war, and his mom goes insane, grabs the Union officer's pistol, and shoots the siblings. And instead of shooting Amadeus Arkham, shoots herself.
Yeah. Her husband died pretty much in a war in a battle that was meaningless because the war had already ended, but it hadn't got to them yet, and they didn't know that, and they fought this battle. So he literally died for nothing.
Yeah,
and the soldier comes to her house to tell her that. She takes his pistol, shoots him, turns around, and all three of her kids are standing there, shoots one of her kids, shoots the other, and is about to shoot Amadeus, but then shoots herself.
Right.
Holy cow. What the fuck? Bro.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so from there, he opens the asylum because he wants to help people.
Yeah.
And then that's when he finds the orphan boy covered in blood. And from there, the boy kind of becomes like his surrogate son. They're going through, they check on the asylum. There's one patient who is kind of demented a little bit. He's smiling, he's a little bit cruel, he loves death.
Yeah.
You know. And he captures the boy at one point until eventually he lets the boy go, and Amadeus thinks kind of everything's okay. Yeah. But as we're reading through this journal entry, we find out that there's a prison escape. And they've removed some stones down there in the furnace, some bricks, so they could escape. Yeah. And eventually they do catch all these inmates again, but they don't catch the one guy, the smiling guy.
Which I think they called him, is that Jack the Ripper?
That's what they implied.
I think that's what they implied, yeah.
Well, Jack the Ripper, that's what we're going to call him, kidnapped Amadeus Arkham's surrogate son.
Yes.
So they go down to the boiler room. Amadeus, this is now back in 1945, so they're present day, and he takes the guy who's going to buy the asylum. And man, that's when things get real crazy.
Yeah.
Because the guy who is going to buy, it's never revealed like his name in the beginning of.
Yeah, he never says who he is. He's just interested, and he's asking a lot about the place. He's making Amadeus open up a lot.
Yes. And so he says, well, if they escape from that hole and you guys patch that up, why is this section over here also patched?
Yeah.
And Amadeus says, and then that's when the mysterious buyer whispers in his ear.
He whispers something in his ear.
And his eyes light up, get real big. The mysterious seller leaves. Amadeus goes down there and tears away those bricks.
Well, the night of, he's sitting there in his room and he's thinking about what he said, and that's when he just gets up and goes.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the body of Jack the Ripper.
Yes, it's the body of who supposedly took his son.
Right.
What did he say exactly? It was something that the kid said.
Tomorrow is a new page.
Tomorrow's a new page. Yep, tomorrow's a new page, which is something that he would consistently say. He actually, Jack the Ripper, almost killed his son in quotations.
Surrogate son.
Yeah, surrogate son. One other time before the escape, and that's what he had said to kind of I think make the guy's guard go down.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a new page, and like that was a big inspiration for Amadeus.
Right.
And that's what he always said to himself after he lost his son, because that was his
motto.
Hope.
Yeah. And it's revealed that the son killed Jack the Ripper. The son was the one who let out the inmates.
Yes.
Caused all of it. The son is now the mysterious buyer.
Yes.
And Amadeus Arkham is so broken over this, he burns down the asylum.
Yes. And what he when he breaks, because he breaks down. Also, it said tomorrow. There was a piece of paper in
tomorrow is a new day or a new page.
Yeah, on the body of the other guy. And he burns down. He throws the boy's teddy bear in the furnace and burns the place down.
Yeah.
And who is standing in the distance as the whole asylum's on fire? It's one of the best panels of the book. You want to say who it is?
It's the absolute Joker.
It's Joker. The little boy was Joker.
Yeah.
And he's got this smile on his face that's just, ooh boy.
Yeah,
Joker in this universe, I'm dying to see Joker.
This is like a terrifying Joker.
Yeah, this Joker is insane, and it's just like they never explain what the blood was. I'm dying to know what that was, because when he appears, he's covered in blood for the first time, and then because Amadeus, and I guess his like maid was like, hey, like what happened, and he said that the boy was so distraught he said he couldn't talk mystery. He's like, I don't know,
Right.
Which again, I'm surprised they never brought that up, like you know what I mean? But I guess it was just kind of whatever,
just to cause mystery, attention.
But Joker is terrifying in this universe. That's all I want. All I want is to see Joker, and I'm so glad that Scott Snyder is really stretching it. Like we got a little bit, and then this gave us a little bit more, and it's just I don't know what to think. Dude, I don't know what to think about this Joker.
Man, I you love comical Joker, right? Like that's classic Joker. Yeah. Oh, Batman, you can't stop me now. But
wait,
the telephone now. Yeah. From the 1966 Batman.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pound you to a pulp.
Start pounding, Joker. But that's classic Joker. We want a dark Joker like this, man.
Yeah.
And Scott Snyder's doing it.
He's on it, man. Whatever he's got, like there's so much more to this character that I feel like we have not seen yet. And I love how it's so mysterious, right? Because no one knows what to think about this Joker. Like I don't even know. Like again, I'm not a big Batman reader, but I know Joker.
Yeah,
like,
everybody knows Joker.
And like it's just seeing this new Joker. All I want to know more. And he's just like, keep reading. Like you got to stick with it. But it's so his presence is there. Right. Even in issue 18, like we'll get to that in a minute. But like they mention him and and it's just I don't know, man. I just like that issue. Arc M was such a great tie-in because like. And I think it got controversy because people were like, "Oh, this is too much."
Really?
And I read someone had said it was too much, and I kept whenever people make YouTube videos and stuff, and all the thumbnails I was seeing was like, "This is too much. This is too dark," and like all the old farts that like rant on comics like that I sometimes watch for my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
They were talking about it, but I didn't listen to it until I read it. I was like, I need to read it. And I loved this issue.
It was good.
Like this was such a good issue.
I don't understand why people are hating on absolute Batman's. We talked about it last time. We talked about the annual. And this, like we're talking about Arc M, obviously. This is not to play on the words, I guess, but this is absolute Batman. Like this needs to be over the top. God, give me it all. Yeah. This is not the main continuity. No. Do whatever the heck you want to do.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I don't know if DC's listening to this, but DC, let him cook. Leave Scott alone. Whatever he's got it, just let him. Like, I'm so afraid. Like, whenever a book gets this good now, I get really nervous because I'm like, I don't want the company to step in and go, well, this book's selling. I think you should do this. This is what the statistics say, and you're gonna, like I'm begging and pleading, like, just let Scott, like, because this is so good, and like, I'm getting ready to read his New 52 run.
Yes.
I bought it. I haven't read it yet. I haven't started reading it, but I did buy it. The Court of Owls run, because I really want to get into that.
Because it ties into
That also ties
issue
into
18
a little bit, but I just want to know more about them.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think the vibe of the Court of Owls is
really cool.
It's very cool. Yeah, it's very mysterious and weird.
One last note, and then I say that's a good segue into 18.
Yes.
I honestly think that everything Absolute is incredible. Everything DC is doing that's Absolute is by far like some of the best stuff that has ever been done. Absolute Superman, and I'm going to talk about that today. Phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
Absolute Wonder Woman. I've struggled always to read Wonder Woman. I love it.
Yeah.
I read it on DC Infinite. I'm not pulling it, but great.
Yeah.
It's just great stuff, and this is why DC's killing it right now.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Well, and even like the 2025 charts, the whole thing was just absolutes. And it was funny because it wasn't even like one issue. It was like every issue. Like Batman, Absolute Batman was like the number 2, or like, because I know Batman and Deadpool was the top selling book of last year.
Yes.
And then everything else was just like Absolute Batman this, Absolute Batman this, Absolute Batman this, Absolute Batman this, Absolute Wonder Woman. And it's just like, man, it's just, I love it. I love to see it because, man, they're killing it. And this stuff is so good.
Yeah. It overshadows anything Marvel's doing by leaps and bounds.
Marvel, take notes. Let your writers do their job because, man, like we're going to get into all that. I'm holding it back so hard.
I can tell.
You see the water leaking a little bit.
itching.
The dam is cracking.
You're antsy. So
But yeah,
Absolute Batman 18.
Oh my gosh. Now, yesterday I was at home working and you called me and I answered and you went, dude, have you read it? Have you read it? And I was like, no, I haven't. I haven't read it yet. Read it.
Stop doing what you're doing and read it.
And I was like, okay. And I took my break and right there I stopped what I was doing and I read the book. And dude, this was so good.
Yes.
We're gonna cover it real fast, but the ending of this book broke my heart. Like it punched me in the gut, and it kind of was just like even thinking about it just gives me chills. Like, and I told Elise about it, my girlfriend. I told her, and she was just like, "Whoa, that's not the best comic reaction I get out of her," which is good.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
No. I summed up Arkham, so you sum up 18.
So, we're getting 3 separate stories, we're getting a couple stories actually. So we get a little bit more into Poison Ivy's backstory. We see her mom carrying her heart in a container, and this is after this lab accident that happened in issue 17 that was talked about. And her mom thinks that she's dead, and this is all that she has left, and she leaves it in, I guess, this like cooler container thing, or this like a morgue facility.
Yeah, they Walt Disney'd her.
And they Walt Disney her. Her heart was in a jar for sure. And Ivy said that like her mom was crying and all she wanted to do was reach out because she said she's never felt more alive. And as she says, the harder and harder I tried to reach out, I sort of felt myself doing that. And you see like green vines come out of her heart. So we're still inside of the big plant thing that's in Gotham, and Batman is fighting for his life. He's trying to keep his mask on. Alfred's reaching out, and Alfred's trying to get a hold of him. Don't take the mask off, and he's like, I'm trying not to. And so that's happening, and then on top of it, we're getting a couple of other stories. We're seeing into Bruce's life again as he's still trying to reconnect with Waylon Jones and Oz and Edward. He's still trying to connect, and he's still not having any luck. He's going into the sewers, yelling out Waylon's name and not hearing anything back. He's going to is he in the Iceberg Lounge, Oz?
I think so. So he's getting beat up by Oz's
and he's like, I'm not going to stop coming until you talk to me. And then we see him standing outside of Edward Nygma's house, and he's just saying riddles to him, just hoping he's going to let him in.
Right.
It's really sad.
It is.
I've never seen Batman so broken.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. I think it's really good because it's really relatable. It makes you really feel for Batman. And like you said this last week, you said, Batman's not a very relatable character. This Batman is super relatable.
Yes, absolutely. No pun intended.
Absolutely. So we're getting to see that. And we're also seeing this separate story with Martha. Martha is out in the desert. She makes a call to Bruce, and Bruce doesn't answer, but she leaves him a message saying, like, I love you, I miss you, I just want to let you know that no matter what, I'm always here for you, and I'm always going to love you. Really hard. Like, it kind of sounded like she was going somewhere she didn't know if she's going to come back from. A van pulls up. The Court of Owls gets out. They throw a bag over her head. They throw it in the trunk, and then they take off. So then we keep going back to Batman. He's still fighting Ivy, and it's a really insane fight.
Yeah.
He's got his chainsaw arms. He's got his spikes are coming out of his shoulders. Like, all these people are trying to jump on him, and they're just stabbing him. It's insane. It's so good. And Ivy's like continuously transforming. So she's like getting all freaky and stuff. Yeah. And we go back to, and if I miss any,
I'll jump in.
But we have we go back and we see him walking in the street as Bruce Wayne, and as he's walking, he keeps seeing these Batman like little tourists, Batman supporters, like, oh, buy your Batman merch, buy your Batman shirt, and and he doesn't like it because this is not the image he wants to uphold as Batman. And he's getting mad, and Mayor Gordon. Mayor Gordon. Mayor Gordon comes in, and he takes Bruce away, and he talks to Bruce, and he's like, I know.
What do you know?
And Bruce is like, what do you know? And he's like, and he just looks at him. He just gives him this look, and he's like, so how do you know? And he's like, come on, Bruce, you're 400 and some pounds, and you're the biggest guy walking around. How do I not know? And I'm like, I'm so glad they did that, because like last week we literally talked about how Bruce Wayne is 400 and some pounds of just pure muscle. He's just this giant dude, and it's just like, cool. I'm glad somebody, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And but they sit down, and he kind of tells them like, hey, like I love your mom. Mm-hmm. But it was not that, like, that sounded really awkward. Yeah, it was more like,
it was meant to be sweet. It was a little awkward when somebody says, hey, I love your mom.
yeah. But it was sweet, and Bruce was talking to him, and Bruce was like, I just don't. And Bruce opens up, and he's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to, I'm losing all my friends. People aren't looking at me the way I want them to. And I don't know what to do. And, Mayor Gordon, or previously Mayor, is he still the mayor?
I think he still is.
I think he's still the mayor. Yeah. He tells him, well, something my daughter always says is that, you have to kind of plant yourself like a tree. Kind of, this is the Civil War thing,
but a tree is strongest at its roots, or something like that.
A tree is strongest at its roots, right? And so, and he said, as long as you protect your roots, you'll be okay.
Right.
And Batman does quite the opposite. We go back to him fighting, we're also getting more of the Court of Owls thing with Martha, right. And they pull a gun on her, and they're like, you're not supposed to be making calls. And she's like, hey, there's a lot going on in Gotham. I needed to make a call. Right. I needed to reach out. And he's like, well, we don't do that. And she's like, well, we're better than this. And apparently Martha was a Talon.
An assassin.
An assassin of the Court of Owls. And she was the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was the best, which is really cool. I want to know more about that. And she's saying, like, this isn't what we stand for. Like, this isn't the root of all of this. And the intensity's building, because we're going from story back and forth and back and forth. And man, Scott does such a good job with that. Scott,
incredible.
Yes, amazing job. Because, like, if you can keep a story flipping back and forth like that, dude, that's
a masterclass in storytelling.
Especially whenever, like, an incident that's not tied in, like, that has nothing to do with Batman fighting Ivy, but this is building suspense to this.
Yeah.
And they're both like bouncing off of each other for the suspense building. And that's so great. That's so awesome. And, we get Ivy is finally about to release these spores all over Gotham because she wants Jack Grimm out. Yeah. Which, if you don't know, Jack Grimm is the Joker of this universe. And she says, I'm going to kill it by killing all of it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to kill all of his hand. I'm just going to let it all grow over it. Right. Let it grow.
I'm Poison Ivy, and I speak for the trees.
Yeah, I speak for the trees. But she just, like, grabs her, like, she just flies out her super evil, like, angel demon moth wings. Yeah. But Batman has this, like, sonar gun, right? Or this, like, really, like, a anti-symbiote gun, honestly. And he's using it against Ivy. And he's like, he's like, I'm going to, I'll shoot you and destroy your heart. And he's like, but I know you can grow it back. But this ain't the same heart that your mom held. That's the only piece of her. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that this is the same heart your mom held. This is the only piece of you that's human that's still left. And I can destroy it. I know you can grow it back. But do you really want me to do that? Yeah. Do you really want to lose that one little bit of humanity that you have left and that connection to your mom? So shut it off. So she does. She's like, okay, I'll shut it off. And she also makes a comment to Batman before this too, saying, if you're going to beat Jack Grimm, you've got to switch up your rules. You've got to play a different game.
Right.
So he tells her to shut it off. She does. And we're going back and forth between this. And you see him pull the trigger, and he's like, and he shoots her anyway. And she's like, and her heart blows up. And she's like, why did you do it? Why? And he said, just like you said, I've got to play this game differently.
Yeah.
And that was so.
And in the meantime, the Court of Owls pulls the trigger on Martha.
Yeah. They pulled the trigger. We don't see that she gets shot.
Yeah.
And according to comic book law, is that if someone doesn't die and they don't show the body, then they're not dead. But we don't know. We don't know. We got issue 19 comes out April 4th.
Yeah.
So that, and seeing that at the same time, and also, as you mentioned on the phone yesterday, we're getting to see Barbara get into a little bit of her Batgirl shoes, and she's helping Batman get out, and she's trying to protect him. And as they leave, let's see what happens after that.
So he leaves, and so at the very beginning of the issue, Martha has been leaving a voicemail. Yeah, she left that voicemail. And that voicemail is saying, I love you. It's basically, you don't know if you're going to come back, but I'm proud of you. I love you. Yeah. Never change. Never change. Yeah, never change. And Bruce doesn't ever listen to the whole message. Nope. He listens to the first half and then he deletes the message. And that is how the book ends. Yeah. The only other book this week, actually in a while, that I've read, that I have finished it and I've been like, oh man. Yeah. That was this one, and when I talk about Transformers. Oh, okay. But both of them were just like, dude. Yeah. Man, that. Oh. Yeah. No. It's so deep because like Bruce really loves his mom, and that's all he's got left, Yeah. And before it shows that, it actually we take a look at the villains again, and we see Waylon, and he stands up out of the water, and he's human, and we get that Waylon butt. Yeah. We get to see his butt, so hopefully we get Batman Damned 2. Killer Croc's ass. Dude, this book's gonna sell for $300. I'm calling it right now. Snyder, let's listen. If you're listening, I hope you're listening. Give us more villain butt. So all of our books will be worth some money. That's the only reason. No other reason, I swear. But yeah, so we see him get up, and he's actually yelling, Bruce, where are you? And he's not there. And then we see Oz gets a knock at the door, and he goes, Bruce, can't you tell I don't want to talk to you? And then it's just some delivery guy. He's like, I'm just delivering a package. Yeah. And he's like, oh. And then we see Harvey Dent's being scraped off. Yeah, because he, I forgot to mention that before, he is losing his position because of his association with Batman. And because they're considering that to be, I don't know what the exact term is. Conflict of interest. It's a conflict, yeah. And they're because of that they put him on administrative leave, right? And now they're scraping his name off the door. Yeah. And then we see Edward Nygma. He's in his weird lab, and his hands are like robotic hands. Yeah. It's really crazy, like how he's slowly transforming into whatever this is. Right. And he keeps glancing at the camera, and Bruce isn't in front of his door no more. So we're seeing how like all these people are like, oh man, I'm not getting. It's like I talked to you yesterday when we were talking on the phone. Main universe Batman, right? The big thing is he pushes everybody away. The mission comes first. Yeah. Right. Batman is the priority. I don't care about the family. Like that's stereotypical Batman. Right. So absolute Batman then is going to take that to the extreme. I feel like, and Scott Snyder is going to say, well, this is absolute Batman. So he is going to push everyone away. He had his heart, but he realized that the mission is so important that he's got to push them all away. He's got to destroy his roots.
Yeah.
And start again. And that's tough. And you knew that this was kind of coming.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you kind of knew that Harvey Dent was going to become Two-Face at some point. Mm-hmm. You knew that Oswald Cobblepot was going to become the Penguin at some point.
Right.
You knew that. And so seeing them in the beginning issues being his friends, like, it's coming.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to hurt this much.
I didn't either, and especially because we've seen all these, we've seen them, we've seen glimpses of their childhood,
right,
being friends, and then we've seen them, as adults, like being very close to each other, and like all of this because of Bane. Mm-hmm. Bane attacked everybody. I think Batman was still.
He was in Arc M.
He was in Arc M when this happened, and he literally attacked all of his friends because he was just trying to escape Arc M.
Yeah.
And he thought that would help break him because Bane was trying to get Batman to break because Bane wanted Batman to take his place. So the fact that all of his friends are broken and they're all just because again when you see that in issue 12,
it's back there.
Yeah, it's when you see Penguin for the first time and he's all like. It's so oh my gosh, it's so hard to look at.
To go back to Arc M real quick, when I was rereading it. So the issue ends with Jack Grimm looking at the computers. He's watching surveillance footage of Batman.
Yeah.
And he even says, "This guy's not a challenge." Did you catch that?
I did catch that.
And he's like, "I can break him."
Yeah, this is nothing. Yeah. Like,
and he has the file of Man-Bat.
What's
Clayface.
What's Man-Bat's real name?
Langstrom.
Kurt Langstrom. Dr. Pamela Isley.
Yep.
Clayface.
Was Basil Carlo.
Basil Carlo.
And then
Hugo Strange.
Was it Hugo Strange?
Hugo Strange was on there. Jonathan Crane. Who else?
I feel like there's somebody else I'm missing.
There was somebody.
But at the end is the reveal of Absolute Deathstroke.
Yes. Which, if you look at the variant cover for issue 19, you can actually see him, and it looks like he has stilts for legs.
Yeah.
You didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that at first.
Yeah, I saw that in an Instagram post. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But man, like, this book is incredible.
Dude,
and
yeah.
Nick Giacotta, I believe I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
He said he'd draw 100 issues.
Oh my gosh, please.
And I will sit with this book as long as Scott Snyder and the team are on it. Because
I think I will too. I don't think I'm going to hop off this by any means. This is so good. Every issue is a absolute banger. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And even like the I don't know what my favorite issue. I think there's so many good ones now. Because originally 14 was my favorite, but also I love 15 because that was I was so hyped for that issue. These have been good. Arc M's been good.
There's not been an issue that I've been like, this was boring. This was a bad issue.
I think my least favorite issue was 11. That's still my least favorite, just because it was like it was a hypothetical. Like the whole issue was like, well, what if this happened? Right. But again, it was still entertaining. It's still a good issue. Like I've not had a problem with this book at all.
No, and that's rare nowadays.
It's very rare because it feels like again, like you got me on this, and every book that I have read has just been like I'm hoping it's good. Yeah. This is one that I'm every time it comes out, I'm right there ready to read it. I'm ready to buy it. I'm ready to. I got like 2 extra variants in my box at the store still that I gotta buy. I got the 1 in 25. I need to show you what that looks like still. But gosh, it's like he's got his axe up in the air and his cape is flying out, and you can see Joker's reflection. That fight is going to be insane,
dude. I'm so ready for that fight. I think we're going, but I think we mentioned it last time. I think he's going to wait. Scott Snyder's going to wait till like issue 50.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a really long time.
But that's. It's going to make it worth it.
It will make it worth it. I'm thinking, I want to say it's going to be 25. Because originally I thought it was going to be 20. I thought when he hits 20 is when we were going to get Joker. But also, Joker is the final boss. Right. Batman building up his self is to take on Joker.
Right.
I think Joker's going to break the shit out of him.
Oh, I think so too.
Joker is going to be a hard punch.
I could see like issue 25, like they meet for the first time, and Joker just demolishes Batman.
Yeah.
And he just, for the next 25 issues, it's Joker taunting Batman pretty much.
Yeah. And
Batman trying to come back. And then issue 50, he's finally worked himself back up.
Because,
you know, I think it'd be awesome. Like, the conclusion or or when he finally finds Joker, he has to make up with his friends, and the only way he can beat Joker is with the help of Harvey and Oz and Riddler and all these people. That would be
really cool. And I don't care how long it takes. I'll stick with it because even though I really want to see them fight, I'll be happy to wait. If I have to wait and it just builds and builds, I want it to be worth it. I feel like a dog that's got a steak in front of him and I'm just looking at it and drooling. I'm so ready. I
basically just want to find out Scott Snyder's address and go ahead and mail him my credit card because
I might do the same. I might just go sit outside of his house and just go, Scott,
you haven't done yet.
Can I see it? Where's the Absolute Joker action figure? I want it. Sign my books. He's actually coming to a sort of local store. I work up in Knoxville, so he's actually coming up there in May. And I will be there. Yeah, I'm not missing that.
I'm thinking about it. That's kind of close to my wife is pregnant.
Yep, she is. Just tell her to wait today. It'll be all right.
She'll still have about 3 weeks after that. So
she won't be.
She won't be. She will be pregnant at that time. But
I didn't know if she'd deliver.
The due date's May 28th, and Scott Snyder will be down there. May 2nd.
May 2nd. Yep.
So
May 2nd.
It'll still be a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about going with you. It'd be awesome if we could get him on the podcast.
That would be great. I actually, I don't want to. I have a friend who has been talking to him because he has a comic channel. Yeah. And I was like, could you push the podcast to him and let him know that we really like his book? Yeah. I'd love to have him on. That would be
awesome.
I don't know if we can get him to my house.
But we could Zoom him or something.
We could probably, we'd figure out. Scott, you want to come to my house? We can record the podcast.
Sign all of my books.
You sign all my books, and I'll make you pizza rolls.
I'll make you macaroni and cheese.
Dude, my macaroni and cheese is amazing.
Your hash brown casserole is what's amazing. That would get Scott Snyder here.
Okay, all right, hear me out, Scott. Would you come by my house and record a podcast? I'll make you hash brown casserole. We can eat and chit chat. You can sign all my books for free, hopefully.
He comes on and he's like, "That'll be $500."
I have a $500 presence fee. It's like I'll give you 6 if you sign all my books. He's like, make it 7 and it's a deal. Done. Easily. Best experience of my life.
Okay, so do we want to keep any other comments you have until we get into some other books?
I think do you want to rate this real quick?
Yeah.
I think we know what
I think so too.
This is beyond the pull list.
This is beyond
it for sure. Because man, absolutely beyond the pull list because I'm buying the variants. I'm still waiting on an action figure. I know they're coming out with a figure. Still, I don't know when it's going to come out, but there's a prototype of one. They still got the Hot Toys. I'm still thinking about it. It's $385. Hey Scott, can you give me one of those for free? I'll proudly sponsor your book forever. Unless DC gets a hold of it, then I'll be like, Scott, please make it better.
This is beyond the pull list for me. I'm actually only reading it on DC Infinite right now. Mm-hmm. But this is absolutely one of the ones that I would go to the comic book store right now and say, put me on. Yeah,
and if you're not pulling this book, if you're interested in pulling that weekly, they are reprinting the crap out of this, and rightfully so. This is a good one for them to do it because there is plenty of reprints out there for everybody to get a hold of. Yeah. If you're looking for a first print, it's gonna be a little hard. They're a little bit up the price your side. I think the Absolute Batman issue 1 first print is selling for anywhere from $300 to $400, which is crazy. But hey, I mean, if that's what I just wanted a cover A. I have a couple of first prints, but a lot of them are reprints, and I just wanted to have all the covers. Which I'm glad they're doing that, and they're not doing because a lot of comics when they do reprints, they'll take a panel from in the book and make that the cover. And I'm really glad they're reprinting the cover. The title, the Absolute Batman logo is a different color on all of the reprints, but the cover it's the same, which I'm DC. Thank you for doing that. That's really great.
Now, before we get into some other books, you are a variant collector.
I'm
what
a
I would
huge
consider.
variant collector, yes.
I really just care about the story. I don't care if I have 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 18th, 20, whatever reprints. I just want the story.
And I'm at the point now where like with variants, I'm not going too crazy with it.
Yeah.
I've really watered it down. Venom, when Donnie Cates was writing Venom, dude, I was
you
on
were bankrupt
dude, King in Black killed me because they had all the tie-ins and I bought all the tie-ins and all the cover. It was bad. It was real bad.
I remember that.
I'm glad that I'm not glad that it's over, but I'm glad that I'm not having to spend all that money on it. But yeah, no, this is one. I'm not buying all the variants, but this is the first book that I think I actually bought them all.
Okay.
I'm happy with cover A. Dragata's art's really good, but then every once in a while there's another cover that's like, ooh, I gotta have that one. I like that one. But it's such a good book. Man. It's such a good book. But yep, Beyond the Pool List.
Beyond the Pool List for me too.
So now, Clayton, we missed you last week.
Yep.
Because I yapped for a long time.
No. So I'll make this quick.
Hey, take as much time as you need. If we run over, screw it.
Yeah, right.
Might be a long episode today, boys.
It might be, so buckle in.
Buckle in, grab your Mountain Dew, crack that sucker open. Get you some pop.
So I have, like I said, a few issues I want to talk about, a few series I want to talk about. And the first one, I'm still like processing in my head today. And that's Transformers. And which is weird because, I grew up watching the movies. Like, that's the only movie I watched in theaters like 7-8 times.
The Michael Bay. I think the third movie I've seen, it's my record movie.
Yeah.
I've seen it 8 times. Yeah, I've seen it 8 times at theaters. Darker Than the Moon.
And so I was a big fan of the movies, big fan of the show. I never really read the comics. But when Daniel Warren Johnson's run started in 2023, I'm like, man, I want to hop on this. Like, this just looks good. And so I've been reading it, and recently Robert Kirkman, creator of Invincible, took over.
Really? Okay.
Yes, yeah. So he took over with issue 25, and we're issue 30 released yesterday. And I'm going to give you a quick summary. So basically what's happening is the Autobots crash landed on Earth, the Decepticons crash landed on Earth. They've been basically frozen for all these years, yada, yada, yada. But there's still the war going on Cybertron. So you have a small remnant of Autobots on Earth. You have a small group of them on Cybertron. And you have a small group of Decepticons as well. And so, of course, they're going at it. They're fighting and everything. And so right now, Optimus is leading a team on Earth. And then Elita 1 is leading a team on Cybertron.
Okay.
That's super long story short. So this issue today, or yesterday, issue 30 came in. And Elita 1 has come to Earth. And she says, basically to Optimus, you're neglecting Cybertron. Why are you focusing on this backwater planet of Earth? Why does this matter? You're wasting our time. We're losing the war because you don't care anymore. You are not sufficient enough to lead the Autobots anymore. And everybody's like, no, back off. This is Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
You don't mess with Optimus.
Yeah.
And Optimus says, I'm sorry you feel that way, basically. But I feel like we have a responsibility to these people on Earth. We brought our war here. It is our responsibility. Whereas Optimus will say, it is our responsibility.
It is our responsibility.
Bum, bum, bum. What? But I love how we did that unplanned, synchronous everything. But
the Michael Bay.
Yes. But anyways, so Optimus says this is our responsibility. We have to do this. And she starts beating up on him. Alita starts beating up on Optimus, and he takes it. He won't fight back. And he says, he lets her beat him up. And he says, this isn't how, but this isn't, he stops her. He catches her fist midair. And he says, this isn't how we do things. We are not like the Decepticons. And he says, I'll do this. I'll do things the way we're supposed to. And he takes out the matrix of leadership from his spark. And he says, we'll let the matrix decide who is going to be the next leader of the Autobots. And so there's this big kind of flash. And it's like, arise, Elita Prime. And so she becomes the next Prime. And all the Autobots are like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah.
And then it's just like Orion Pax, which is what Optimus was before he became Optimus Prime. He's just kind of small.
Yeah.
And I don't imagine Peter Cullen's voice anymore. I just hear Chris Hemsworth again.
Yeah.
And okay.
You're small now.
Yeah. And so she says that the Matrix has decided. So all the Autobots are going to come with me to Earth, or back to Cybertron, and we're going to defeat them there. But if you stay on Earth, you're no longer an Autobot. Mm-hmm. Optimus says, well, I still feel a responsibility here, so I'm going to stay here. Mm-hmm. And you see Alita leave with this massive group of Autobots going back to Cybertron. And like one panel is Optimus smiling as they look at him, and then the moment they turn their backs, he like looks down at the ground. And it makes you think, like, Optimus is the last one on Earth. The last Autobot to stay. His symbol is all scratched off. Oh. They scratched it off. And the last panel is a small team of Autobots, like RC, Cliffjumper, and just like maybe like 5 or 6 others. Mm-hmm. And that's it. The rest of them went with Alita. Yeah. Wheeljack is with them. And they said, what do we do now? Mm-hmm. And they all have their symbols scratched off.
Oh, man.
And Optimus says, we finished the mission. And I read that today, and I was like, man, that's wow. Yeah. But it was so good. The art is incredible. It's Dan Mora. Mm-hmm. I think this was his last issue, though. And the next one's, he's doing work for DC right now. Yeah. So he's busy. But it's incredible. And man, I was just blown away by it. And this is a beyond the pull list for me. Absolutely.
Oh wow, yeah, that art is good.
Yeah, it is so beautiful. Wow. And I was just seeing Optimus. They really made you think Optimus is it. He is the only one left on Earth. Yeah. And like, how is he going to fight Megatron and Soundwave and all these other Decepticons? Yeah. So maybe I can get you on Transformers.
It looks good. It's good. Because I grew up also big Transformers fan. I love the movies. I still love the movies. A lot of people. I don't like 4 and beyond.
I don't like 4 or 5. I like Bumblebee.
Bumblebee's good.
And I like Rise of the Beast.
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched Rise of the Beast, but I've watched all of them. My least favorite was The Last Night. That one. I watched it on my birthday, and I was just like, ugh.
The first 3 though.
The first 3.
Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon.
Amazing.
Oh, I would.
Some of the best pieces of cinema. Action.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would put them some of the best movies almost ever created.
Oh yeah, no, honestly, I would too, because and I hate in like the new ones when they transform, it's just like, and that's it. But in the first one, man, it took a minute, and you just got to look at how beautiful it was just to see everything working.
Especially the first time you saw Optimus transform.
Yeah.
And you hear the music.
Yeah.
Bum, bum,
yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
And then the one at the end where he's riding up and then he drifts and then just transforms mid, and that music's playing, and they Megatron. It's just so good. And Megatron throws his Jazz's body. He's like.
It's so good. The series is so good. Yeah. There's actually a post coming up on Comic Nation 1776 on Monday about why you should read Transformers.
I will look at that because I might look at it. What is it? IDW?
It is Image.
Image. Okay.
And like I said, it's written by the same guy Robert Kirkman. Yeah. Walking Dead, Invincible. Yeah. I mean, this guy, Robert Kirkman, he's a good writer. And it feels almost like his Invincible writing. Like he is building up something really great. Mm-hmm. And that's where I think this is going, because there's been a controversy with this issue because they're like, Alita could never be Optimus. Yeah. Optimus Prime is the greatest warrior to ever live. And I'm like,
but this is I think that's establishing that.
I think it is. Yeah. I think it's establishing that she's going to have to go through this, and she's going to realize that the Matrix is kind of testing her. Yeah. Right? Optimus is a great leader, not because he's the greatest fighter, not because of this, but because of his heart. Yeah. And
his engine.
Yeah. His engine, yeah. So, Beyond the Pull List for me.
Okay.
Definitely recommend checking it out.
It sounds really good.
Yeah.
It sounds really, really good. Because that's something, there's no better trope in a story than when a hero is stripped of everything. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. Because that's when you have to really prove, are you the hero that you're supposed to be?
And what better character to do that than Optimus Prime?
Yeah, oh my gosh. So I might check that out. I think that sounds like a good read.
Okay. So moving on, I'm going to go to Superman.
Superman.
Currently being written by Joshua Williamson, another fantastic writer. This one is kind of coming off the heels of the DC event, DCKO.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've seen the stuff around where they're doing like the brackets. Everybody fights.
Yeah.
So the plot of that story is that Darkseid died, and that's
where
what's
Absolute comes
released
from.
the Absolute Universe.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to, because basically the energy of Darkseid is a cosmic force, and it has to find its host.
Yeah.
And without a host, it's chaos energy everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so these heroes and these villains are fighting to who's going to be the next champion.
Mm-hmm.
And so Superman right now is kind of coming off the heels of that. They've reintroduced Superboy Prime. He is a character from the 80s who broke the fourth wall before Deadpool did.
Okay.
So he knows he's in an event,
Yeah.
but he has the powers of Superman.
Okay.
And it's been okay. Most of Joshua Williamson's run has been good, very great. But this one is just an on the pull list book. I can't really give much of the story right now because it is coming off of the tie-in.
Right.
So
are you reading that tie-in? I know a lot of people are on DCKO.
I read DCKO on DC Infinite, and it was good. It was a really great event because it was.
Did Batman win?
No, Lex Luthor
surprised.
actually won first.
Whoa.
But Superman ended up kind of making the final victory.
Okay.
And Darkseid is back. He kind of teases at the end of DCKO that the next big DC event, whenever that is going to be like Chaos Crisis or something like that. Okay. Crisis, something like that.
Yeah. I'm really. You don't. Do you think that you don't think this next event's going to do kind of what Ultimate did, where it's going to affect all these Absolute books, or do you think these Absolute books will kind of be just doing their own thing? I hope that they're doing their own thing.
I think somebody said recently, and I want to say it was Scott Snyder, said that the Absolute Universe is going to have their first crossover soon.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to be a Darkseid. I don't think that's going to have anything to do with Darkseid yet. Mm-hmm. I think eventually they will cross over, but I don't think it's going to affect this story.
Okay.
I could see in the next couple months, maybe like the summer, maybe late fall, early fall, like Absolute Superman and Absolute Batman will cross over.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I'm fine with that. I'm
Yeah.
just wondering, like, if it's going to be like like this event, like Darkseid's back and he's going to do this thing, and the Absolute people, like, I'm literally like comparing this to Ultimate Endgame and being like, please don't do that. Like,
No,
please,
no.
like, I want this book to keep going.
Yeah.
I don't want this
think
to be
so.
an Ultimate Spider-Man.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're safe.
thank God.
So Superman right now isn't on the pull list.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
But Absolute Superman.
I heard you talking about. Yep.
This has also been another great series.
Okay.
Issue 17 came out last week.
Okay.
And, dude, this is another one I really want you to read. So, this Superman is a little bit different.
Okay.
He was not sent to Earth as a child.
Okay.
He was sent to Earth as probably, like, let's say a 10-year-old kid. Mm-hmm. He's a little bit grown up. Because Krypton didn't blow up till much later.
Okay.
So the S on his chest in this universe. So Krypton is built on a caste system. Mm-hmm. So you have the High, which is the Science Council, which in Superman main universe, that's what Jor-El and Laura L are. That's the science, the High Council.
Yeah.
But in this universe, he's at the very bottom. They're worker class. So they're called the people of steel.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And so that's the S is that insignia that they get kind of forced on them.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Wow.
So, anyways, basically this book starts out and the main villain is Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
And all that. So when we come to issue 17 and issue 16, Ra's al Ghul is in prison. Mm-hmm. Superman's finally defeated him. And Superman, so there's also Lazarus Corp. Mm-hmm. And that's been mentioned in Absolute Batman. Mm-hmm. And the Lazarus Corp is Ra's al Ghul's company.
Okay.
Like the Lazarus Pits.
Yeah. It's Lazarus. Yeah.
It's a corporation. Yeah. And so they're this like overarching kind of evil corporation that has its hands everywhere and has been around forever.
Yeah.
And the issue 16 starts out and it begins to tell the story of Absolute Hawkman. Okay. And he stops some Nazis from getting their hands on some ancient artifacts.
Yeah.
And he in the process becomes Absolute Hawkman. And there's a really cool scene in Absolute Superman 16 where he finally catches up with Superman. Mm-hmm. And this Superman had to like start from the bottom when he came to Earth. Like he started with nothing, and he has the long hair. He's almost kind of emo at first, and his suit's even black in the beginning.
Okay.
And then after some big battles and some things happen, he finally gets the blue suit, and you can see that he's finally becoming like Superman, kind of more hopeful. He's kind of starting to see the good, and so there's a really cool scene in issue 16 where Absolute Hawkman is talking to Absolute Superman. Yeah, and Superman just keeps flying off. He'll come back, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I heard a plane crashing in Bangladesh," and he's like, "But what do you want to talk about?" And so Absolute Hawkman gets a few sentences, and he flies off again, and he comes back. And he's like, "Sorry, I heard some people crying." And Absolute Hawkman's like, "You do that again, and I will knock you through like 15 cities." He's like, "But people need help." And so the Lazarus Corps has sent the Peacemakers, because they're a unit rather than one person, like the Peacemaker from John Cena. They have unleashed the Parasite.
Okay.
The purple monster from Superman who, if he touches you, he drains your powers.
Yes, okay.
But in this one, it's like a horror monster. And he feeds on your fears and your adrenaline, and that's what he feeds on, not your physical energy.
Your physical energy, wow.
And it just is growing and growing. It's taking over Metropolis. And so in this conversation, Absolute Hawkman says, "If you do that again, I'm going to knock you out." And so Absolute Superman hears the screams in Metropolis of the Parasite. Mm-hmm. And his cape in this is not just like a flowy cape. It is the living ashes of Krypton. It's like a sentient AI.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And and it wraps around Absolute Hawkman. And he's like, "All right, fine. If I can't do that again, you're coming with me." And he flies over to Metropolis. And they're trying to stop this monster. And so Absolute 17 picks up, and Superman says, I can hear their voices, and like Jimmy's getting sucked in, Lois is getting sucked in, and they're just feeling like this fear. Yeah. And Superman says, "We've got to get these people away from these creatures. Mm-hmm. We've got to pull them away." And Absolute Hawkman says, "No, I've got this," and like flies through the monster. Oh. And and that kind of really starts causing problems. They have a brief like fight. Like you can't just do that. Like this is connected to millions of people. Yeah. And Superman is able to rescue Lois. Mm-hmm. And he's able to rescue her. She's like, "I felt calm with you because of who you are and like what you inspire in us." Mm-hmm. So eventually, Absolute Superman and Absolute Hawkman get wrapped up in the Parasite. Oh. And so they have to live their biggest fears or who they are. Mm-hmm. And so Hawkman is powerless, and he's getting wrapped up in like these vines. He can't like get out. Mm-hmm. And Superman appears to him as the child, like the 10-year-old boy that he was sent to Earth, because that's how he still sees himself. Yeah. And he's not consumed with fear, right? He's consumed with hope. So the monster can't affect him. Oh, wow. Okay. And so he's talking to all the millions of people wrapped up in the Parasite, but he's talking to Hawkman, and he basically says, because we're connected in this monster, I know who you actually work for. Mm-hmm. And if you come after me and you're trying to stop me, tell them I'm coming for them next. And like his eyes like hit up red, and Hawkman is just kind of like terrified. Yeah. And meanwhile, Talia Al Ghul breaks her father out. Man, I think it was issue 15. Uh-huh. Superman's trying to rehabilitate Ra's al Ghul. Yeah. And like it shows a period of months and months and months. And he visits him every day in prison, and he tries to read him prayers, or he tries to read him like some kind of literature or something to like show him like there is still hope in the world. Yeah. And the end of this issue, you see Ra's al Ghul, he thinks about staying in prison because of what Superman has done for him. Yeah. Like giving him hope. And finally he ends it, and he puts down the book, and he goes with Talia, and he says, "I'm sorry, Superman, but some people you just can't change." Mm. And that's how the issue ends.
Oh, dang.
And so this is a Beyond the Pull list for me. Another absolute book. Yeah. That if you're not reading, you need to be right now.
So 2 absolute books.
Yes.
Do you think Wonder Woman is a Beyond the Pull list?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, I'm a little bit more behind on Wonder Woman, though, because, again, I read on DC Infinite for some stuff. If I'm, like, really enjoying it, I'm going to pull the physical copies. Yeah. But I read on DC Infinite, and so DC Infinite is a month behind So I'm a month or two behind on
okay.
Absolute Wonder Woman.
Okay.
So that's why I've not talked about it, because I'm behind on
Yeah,
it.
you're still catching up on
Yeah.
it. Okay. Well, I mean, but hey, we've got two Absolute Batman and Absolute Superman that are both beyond books. Yeah. And Transformers.
And
Transformers is beyond. So,
one last book for me.
One more.
That's Adventures of Superman, Book of L. I'm torn on this one.
Yeah.
Philip Kennedy Johnson is the writer. Man, he's a fantastic writer. Wrote my favorite Superman story of all time, Superman War World. Phenomenal. And this book is his last he didn't get to finish telling his story. It was Superman War World. And so this is him trying to wrap this up. But there's been delays and there's been some problems. And so it's a story that I'm going to say for now it's an on the pull list book.
Okay.
Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait till I have all the issues. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to reread it. Because I think some books do better like that, right? Like some books do better as like a cohesive rather than singles.
Yeah.
And so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt and saying that this is going to be a better sit down and read than a single issue every month.
Yeah.
So this one is if it was based solely on the singles, I'd say it's an off the pull list. But I'm trying to judge it as a whole.
Okay.
And I want to say right now it's an on.
Okay.
And so basically, I guess I need to give a little bit of summary. So Adventures of Superman, Book of L is Superman has adopted two other kids. And they're from, basically, if I remember correctly, the moon of Krypton. So they have Kryptonian powers. They're just not as strong as Kryptonians.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's adopted them. And so this story is basically in the future, I'd say like 300 years. So it's kind of hard to tell because Superman gets pulled into the future to basically meet his great grandkids, I guess that would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great whatever. And so it's a little like hard because I don't remember because of the delays, because there's been delays.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't remember this character. Who is this? Because it's been 3 months since I read the last issue.
Yeah.
So right now I'm going to say it's an on.
Is it 3 months apart? Is that how much?
No, it's supposed to be monthly, but I think there was a delay, and
Okay.
for some reason there was like a 3-month delay.
I was gonna say that reminds me of Aliens versus Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
That book was like a 5 months apart
Yeah.
issue, and that was the worst in the world. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was good, but it was
good.
like, tired of waiting 5 months
Yeah.
for a freaking issue. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you read it in 20 minutes, you're like, okay, I'm ready for the next one. I guess I'm going to have to wait till, I'm 26 years old.
Yeah.
I'll be older when the next one comes out. Yeah.
So those are my books.
Okay.
I beyond the pull list for me is Transformers and Absolute Superman and Absolute Batman.
Yes. And then you're staying on for Superman.
I'm going to stay on for Superman, and I'm going to stay on for Adventures of Superman, Book of L.
But you're a little off.
I'm a little off.
Like
Yeah.
you're kind of on the bull.
I'm
The Bulls, you're holding on.
I'm on both sides of the fence right now.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I got you. Well, I am only reading one other thing, sort of. I guess it's technically 2 books, but I'm going to review it as one.
Okay.
Because they're crossing over. Otherwise, I would only be reading one book.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral. This started 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And it's been every week, so they drop a new issue every week. The first issue was a one-shot kind of crossover book called Spider-Man / Venom Death Spiral. And then it's going back and forth between Amazing and Venom and Amazing and Venom. So last week it was Amazing Spider-Man issue. What issue is this? I can't see there. Issue 23.
Okay.
Don't know what the legacy number of that is, but issue 23 was the part 2 of Death Spiral, and then Venom issue 255 is part 3, and then I think Spider-Man 24 will be next.
Okay.
And they're just going to go back and forth. I think Death Spiral's a 6-part event? Oh, it's 9-part event.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of money. So first of all, whenever we talked yesterday on the phone, I told you I was going to give you a rating of this, and I was going to my rating was going to be how much sand would this book make me ingest, which is it's weird. I was like, because I had said like I would rather eat sand than read this book,
Yeah.
and you said how much sand would you eat, and I was like, I don't know yet. Depends on
what was it? 10 was
10 is Sandman, like suffocating me with sand. Like literally, like Sandman's like, you're hungry, I'm gonna keep feeding you.
right.
And 1 was
You're at the beach by accident and a grain of sand. Like
yeah. One is I'm at the beach having a good time and I got some sand in my mouth. Right. You know what I mean? So the 10 would also be sand in every orifice of my body, including me crying tears of sand. So I forgot about that. Okay, so. As you know from the last episode, I have been reading Venom and I have not been enjoying it. I said it was an off the pull list book because it was just, it doesn't feel like Venom, right. Especially being a big Donny Cates Venom fan. That was the best Venom run I've ever had. Yeah. So we've gotten very far off with Al, and Al has been I don't know what he's doing. He's doing some weird things with Venom, but MJ is Venom. Venom has this weird gold look to him. He's got this gold spider, which is called the Ernak, which is the word carnage in reverse. I think that's really stupid, and it's a mixture of, it's got Molten Man's blood in it with some magic in there from Loki to make the Ernak. I don't know. Al's, they're passing the crack pipe in the Spider-Man office because that's the only way these guys know how to write anything. So, in regards to Death Spiral, I read the first 3 parts because that's all it's out, because part 3 came out this week, and I'm not hating it. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good.
Okay.
It's interesting. So, little perspective is that right now you've got Peter Parker, who just came back from space. He's trying to get readjusted to being Spider-Man again, and everybody's been looking for him. Little bit of connection. You read the first issue of this, so a little bit of connection to Absolute Batman is that he's getting all these messages and he's deleting them all. So they read Absolute Batman and they were like, oh, well, they couldn't have because it wasn't out yet, but maybe they called and they're like, oh, let's do that times 10. That's what will sell books. Let's have Spider-Man delete 7 messages where Batman only deleted 1. See, we're better. See, we're better. We make the stakes higher. It's just like all these messages being like, hey, just wanted to chit chat, see how you do it, delete. And then Batman's like his mom, who's possibly dead. Right. But yeah, Spider-Man's back on Earth. He's trying to refigure his life out. He's trying to get all of his, being Peter again, because you didn't know Norman was Spider-Man for a while, and then also Ben Reilly, who's Chasm, was pretending to be Peter Parker for a while. Okay, so see,
I missed out on
a lot of that stuff is going on. I haven't been reading Amazing. That's just that's kind of what it's insinuated in these 3 books. So that's happening. Eddie Brock is Carnage, and he's trying to, the whole situation with Carnage is that Carnage is trying to find its new host. So in order to stay alive, for some reason, Carnage now has to kill people to stay alive. Just because it's his kind of hunger, I guess. And the deal that they made was that if Eddie Brock runs into a serial killer who he can't kill, Carnage will take over and let Eddie die. So that's their little deal they made. But Eddie is holding on to the symbiote because he thinks that's the best way to keep the Carnage symbiote under control. Right. Which doesn't really make that much sense, but whatever. No. And then you got MJ, who is the all-new Venom, and she's just being a rockin' hot girl with the symbiote, and everything's great, and she's a bad bitch. Nothing's wrong, which I hate because there is no character development there. I hate that. The stakes should be so high with that, but whatever. Who cares? Who cares? Nothing matters anymore. Nothing matters. But
I just want Spider-Man.
I just want, but we get this new villain who I think looks really cool. By the way, he looks super cool. His name's Torment. He's an all-white character who has these red lines, almost look like symbiote, like muscles all over his body, and on his face it makes a spiral. And his whole thing is that he goes through family trees, killing off everybody till he gets to the very last person, because the very last person who's on the family tree is the youngest, so you've wiped their whole family out. You just got to get him, right? Which is weird because you should start from the bottom and go up, right? So they can't reproduce, but whatever. Peter gets reacquainted with MJ. He finds out that MJ's Venom, and he's like, what? And they actually have a human conversation that feels normal. And the symbiote's also present, which doesn't feel awkward. There's some good moments in there. There's some hope in this book because there's one scene that I really loved when Eddie Brock actually goes to... Well, hang on. I got a couple things in order. Let me cover this in order because I have a list, because these are all my key takeaways from the book that I was not happy with. First of all, they make it pretty clear that Carnage now knows Peter's identity. Eddie Brock leaves Peter Parker a voicemail saying, "Carnage knows who you are. We have to do something."
Right.
But he doesn't know that Eddie is Carnage yet. He doesn't know that. He thinks Eddie's still Venom, which is weird because if you read Absolute Carnage, you would know that Carnage knew who Peter was in that book.
Yep.
So somebody didn't do their homework. Al Ewing, Spider-Man office. Whatever. Because if you don't know, real quick, the editorial office for Spider-Man is the same as Venom. So it's Spider-Man, Venom, and Hulk. They all three share an office.
Still weird.
Yes, it's a very weird combination. So there's that one. Flash also doesn't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, which doesn't make sense towards the continuity because if you would read the book, you would know that he does. Especially if you read Spider-Man 800.
Yeah.
Because, whatever. So Flash doesn't know that Peter's Spider-Man anymore. There is a scene where Eddie Brock actually goes to check in on Dylan for the first time in forever. Oh my gosh, finally. Because if you forgot, Eddie Brock has a son and his name's Dylan and he was Venom until Al was like, "Oh, I think MJ would be better as Venom." And did that. I'm trying not to be mean. Sorry, I'm trying not to be mean.
But Dylan is living with Paul.
Dylan is living with MJ and Paul.
Character.
Everybody's favorite character, yeah, which him and MJ are living together because Paul's apartment got blown up, so he has to live with her because they just hate Paul. And also, funny enough, in this book, Eddie Brock is like, "Oh, you're staying with Paul? Like, oh, we hate Paul."
Yeah.
But Eddie has never met Paul. Eddie has never met this character. And I also hate this because my name is Paul, and everybody's talking about how much they hate Paul, so I'm kind of taking it a little bit personally. I tried not to. But yeah, so that was weird because I was like, they've never met, so what's up with that? MJ and Flash are flirting.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Really weird. And MJ, I guess, likes it. I don't know.
Shia?
Yeah, they're calling themselves what was it? They refer it to the
outside the box
or something weird. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, but my favorite part is that when Paul reaches out to MJ to say, "Hey, Eddie Brock just showed up here to talk to Dylan," and Dylan's really upset. Venom says to MJ, "He's here. He's alive. Oh my gosh! Like we should have been there." So it's given me a little bit of that fire. Just kind of, it's kind of sparked a little bit in my heart because I'm like, maybe they're gonna get reunited. Venom's gonna be Eddie Brock again, please, because I just don't like it being MJ because there's no good character development there. But we have that the Spider-Man issue tie-in. That was the Death Spiral issue, the first issue. The Spider-Man tie-in wasn't bad. It was kind of Peter trying to re-get with his life. Also, Aunt May's got a boyfriend.
What? Okay.
Yeah, and
Octavius?
No, not this time. I don't know what his name is, but apparently she says that the whoopee makes her feel better. So I guess it's clear that
They're doing the hanky-panky.
They're doing hanky-panky. Aunt May's getting it. Peter isn't. What? Come on. Like, all we want is Peter and MJ to be together, and freaking like.
What? Yeah, Marvel.
Yeah, and Marvel's like, let's let Aunt May get some.
Yeah. But they're also like, what if we put Flash Thompson and Mary Jane Watson together?
Yeah,
that's what everybody really wants.
And and clearly they haven't read freaking anything that came before all this because they don't know any of they think Eddie and Paul know each other. They think Flash doesn't know who Peter is. Yeah. They act like it's confusing because it's like did YouTube tutorial videos on how this shit works is not enough to write these comments. I'm sorry, Spider-Man office. You guys need to read the books. You should have them all in print. You could probably reprint them all again. Jesus, whatever. But you have the Spider-Man issue. It was actually really good. It felt like the dialogue was good. It didn't feel like the story was. I was really afraid that because like the Venom books have been really like cartoony and very like not good in dialogue, but this was good in dialogue, so I really liked the Spider-Man tie-in. Then I read the Venom tie-in and it was also pretty good. The art was really good, but they find out that Eddie Brock is Carnage, and Eddie Brock Carnage learns that the way Torment works is that he's trying to go down the family tree. Okay. And he also learns that if you didn't pay attention to the end of issue 1, which I completely forgot to say, Carnage, the Carnage symbiote, has been stealing Eddie's phone while he sleeps and has been texting Torment. So they have been kind of in cahoots and they've been talking.
Quick question. Yeah. Is Eddie homeless? Because that's what it seems to imply at Death Spiral.
They don't say. I don't know.
Okay.
Eddie's just been being Carnage. Well, I guess so. He's just kind of been going from place to place doing things, like been killing people. He's not really lived anywhere.
Okay.
He's literally just been on the run forever.
But he's paying his phone bills.
Yeah, he's paying his phone bill. Yeah, that's a great point. He's paying that phone bill. What, dude? What is this, man? It's a mess.
Marvel editorials listening, and they're like, dude, it's just a book.
Yeah, dude, this is just like one of our. We don't even really care. It's just an event. It makes us money, But we find out that at the end of the Spider-Man issue, I forgot to say this too, is that Torment kills Shocker and takes his gauntlets. Because that is one of the only things that can be used to deter symbiotes, or it's a tool that can be used to deter symbiotes. So he's coming after Venom, and he knows because Carnage told him who Venom is, and it's Mary Jane Watson. So he also, in the Venom issue, when Carnage, Eddie Brock, learns that he goes after the family tree, he's rushing to his dad's house, Carl Brock, which I don't know why he's in New York, because if you read Donny Cates' run, he lives in San Francisco, so I don't know where that move happened, but whatever. I guess, again, the YouTube tutorial forgot to cover that part. He gets there to save his dad, and Torment is sitting in his chair. His dad is in the floor dead, and he says, "Hello, I'm excited to see you," and it said, it doesn't say... it says Torment rules with blood on the wall, with his dad's blood. But in the previous issue, when he killed Shocker, it said Carnage ruled. Like Carnage used to rule, but now Torment's here. I really think we're leading to Cassidy being Torment, because we haven't seen Cassidy in a while. I don't know what he's doing. Last time there was like 2 of him. There was a clone, and then there was a real one, and then a not real one. It was weird.
Strange.
So I guess that's what it's going to be. But so far, this has felt like more of a symbiote book than the Venom. Because Venom for the past few issues has been... It does not feel like Venom.
Right.
It feels like some weird, obscure characters meeting together, and this just happens to be Venom, because even Venom doesn't look like Venom, right? So that's why I've really not liked it, because I feel like I'm not reading my book anymore. It feels like when you're reading a book with symbiotes, or like it's like a Batman book becomes bright, colorful, and happy. That's not normal. So this has been more enjoyable than the stuff I've been reading. So I'm definitely going to say, for me, it's an on the pull list book.
Wow.
It is not Beyond. I tell you what, I am buying one variant today of it, because Clayton Crane did it, and anything Clayton Crane does, I'm a sucker for. I'm going to buy it when it drops, because it drops at 7. I'm going to get it. But the art's good. Yeah. The story's okay. There are a lot of continuity issues I'm not liking, and I'm kind of wondering, hey guys, why are you not doing
your research?
So so if I relate it back to my beach thing, I went to the beach, I tripped and fell, and my mouth was open, and I have sand in my mouth, and unfortunately I swallowed it. So that's kind of what I would review this book as. But it's definitely on. I definitely think if you've been a Venom fan and you're not enjoying the book, which a lot of Venom fans aren't, I think this is kind of a closer symbiote book, because I want to know who Torment is. Yeah. I like the way he looks. I think he does look cool. If it is Cassidy, then I think that's a cool way to bring him back. If it's someone new, I might be upset, because I'm like, who's this guy? Right. If it's Matt Gargan, I'm going to flip the table, because we know.
Just in time for Brand New Day.
Oh my gosh, dude, it could. Oh, please, no. Oh, I forgot. Oh, dude, they would do that.
It's Tombstone.
No, Tombstone's in the book. He's a
okay.
separate character. Tombstone's a separate character. He actually, Tombstone is kind of mad that Torment killed Shocker, because Shocker was one of his roadies.
His enforcers.
Yeah. So, but the dialogue in this story so far feels more Spider-Man-y. It feels more adult. It doesn't feel like 5-year-olds being like, "You suck and you stink," and everybody's going, "He stinks." That's what the Venom book has felt like. So this feels a lot better, and it feels a lot more like a Spider-Man story. So I'm gonna ride it out. Yeah. Hopefully this has been the best we've gotten for a long time. Yeah. I'm not gonna say I'm hoping it'll be good. If it's not, then I'm not gonna be surprised. But there is Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral. I think if we do, this is an every week book, so I definitely will be talking about it every week. If we skip next week, I'll definitely talk about 2. I'm going to try to cover it as like a one big story instead of like individual issues. Well, I did do individual issues.
But you're getting us caught up.
Yeah, I'm getting y'all caught up, because definitely, when the next few come out, there's going to be a lot more going on. And hopefully figure out who Torment is, because I think the next issue has a classified variant.
You're technically a third of the way through already if it's 9 issues.
Yeah, we're a third of the way through. So, we got a lot more. But again, this book definitely feels like that thing that Marvel's doing, which this will definitely be a good way to segue into our next final conversation that the audience probably has been waiting for if you've been listening this long. This definitely has that feeling of like, guys, we need to do a Venom event. We need to do an event with Spider-Man and Venom and Carnage. So let's get it going. Let's do this event. Because, every Marvel book now feels like it's just it's like the books can't be good, but we can prepare for the event because the event sells more copies.
Right.
It's at least it's not like a big crossover. It's just like, I think there's like, the one and then it's back and forth. And then I think there might be a finale single issue. Okay. I don't know. So, but yeah, there's Death Spiral. In my notes, we wrote Big Poo Poo. It's not Big Poo Poo. It's just, it's like Mexican food. Like, like it's like, I enjoy this, but I feel like it's going to affect me negatively later, But segue. So maybe we'll get Big Poo Poo out of it. I don't know.
Oh, man. So that's a good segue into a book that is kind of Big Poo Poo.
Yes, it is Big Poo Poo.
Well, this is what, as Paul said in the very beginning of the episode, this is our time that we're going to talk about Ultimate Spider-Man. And honestly, we've never seen a book that is this split down the middle. And in fact, in the kind of the notes that I typed up for today for us to kind of talk about, we said it's the Great Divide.
Yeah, it's the Great Divide because the reason we decided to talk about this is we made a post on Comic Nation 616, and a lot of people agreed with us. A lot of people was like, yeah, that's why I think the book fell flat, because if you listen to our first episode, we didn't like the end. I mean, there are good parts of the book.
There's good parts.
But overall, as a story, we didn't like it. We was an off the pull list book for both of us.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, there were people who agreed with us, but then there were also people who disagreed with us and were like, this is the best book ever. I went up to Knoxville again to the comic book store that I go to up there, and there was actually an argument in the store while I was there because one of the workers agreed with me and another worker didn't.
Yeah.
And I called you and I was like, we should really talk about this again, because there's this, I've never seen a divide in a book like this before. There's never been such a book that's just like, you either really love it or you really hate it. I don't know. So we broke up some of the comments.
Yeah.
We're going to be reading some of your comments. Actually, real quick, we have a fan base.
Yeah.
We have people who listen to this. And thank you guys.
Yes,
we want to say thank you.
you.
If you follow the account, Comic Nation 1776 on Instagram, it's only on Instagram, right?
Only on
Instagram. And follow them, follow us, follow our show, keep listening. We're really glad to have an audience. This is really cool.
This is awesome. We have like 200 comments alone on the post talking about this, and it's probably split 100 for and 100 against.
Wow, really cool. Yeah, so we really wanted to just we wanted to take everybody's comments, good and bad, into consideration and look at this and kind of maybe we want to talk about our opinions on it, but also read your comments. Right. So, if you don't like this book and we disagree with you, no shame in that. This would be just I think this is just something we should really cover because I'm so shocked at how divided this fan base is over this book. Yeah. And we're going to defend our argument a little bit because some people were like, oh, you guys, your argument's not that good. And I'm like, okay, let's do it better then.
Right.
I got my boxing gloves on. Ding, ding. I'm ready to,
go a few rounds. Let's go. Put the suit on.
Yeah. dude, that's a great reference, dude. Our brother over here, dude. Yeah, heck yeah. Was that supposed to be a reference?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, see, you're a smart guy over here.
So the first thing that is kind of really the biggest comments that we're getting in favor of the book is that, as one person said, this is still better than anything from the main continuity in the last 5 years. Yeah,
and I had actually, this is the same thing that a guy at the store up in Knoxville told me. He said the same thing to me, and I was like, maybe. I don't know.
So looking at the Spider-Man comics of the last 5 years, some people have said 10 years, 15 years. So argument is still the same. At least it's not Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
Just be thankful it's not Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we both, actually, before we started, we were talking about kind of some of the notes we have written, and we both agreed that, like, yeah, this is better than The Amazing Spider-Man. I think this was better.
And I'll concede on that, for sure. Because as what some of this stuff is that we're going to talk about today, it does give us what we want in a sense. It gives us Mary Jane, married to Peter Parker, gives us kids.
An older Peter Parker.
Who's having to, in theory, wrestle with the things of adult life.
Yeah.
So it does kind of give us that. Mm-hmm. And those first couple issues were incredible.
They were awesome. Yeah.
And there is good aspects about this book.
Yeah.
Especially, I think, the Sandman issue.
The Sandman issue was
I thought
good.
that was good.
The Venom scene was awesome.
Right.
I think the final issue had some cool moments.
It did.
I think the anti-venom symbiote things were really cool.
Even the pregnancy, when she told, in the flashback in the final issue, when she told Peter that...
Oh, yeah, that they were pregnant. Yeah. That was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
So there is good aspects to this book.
Yeah.
And so I think we agree on that, that point.
Yeah.
Is that... Yeah, it's better than Amazing Spider-Man has been. Now, looking back, do I think it's better than Spider-Man Life Story?
No.
Do I think it's better than Spider-Man 800?
No.
I was even thinking about Spectacular Spider-Man by Chip Zdarsky.
I still haven't read that.
Okay.
I still have it, but I have the trade because you bought me the trade. I'm pretty sure.
Did?
Yep, I have it. I still haven't read
Spectacular
it.
Spider-Man 310 is probably my favorite single issue comic book of all time.
Wow.
But I'll save that conversation for a while. I love it so much
Yeah.
time. But so of the last 5, 10 to 15 years, I think to some points, yes. Main title, Amazing Spider-Man, it is better, but it is not better than some of those other ones that we mentioned.
Because we're kind of going back to that statement of this is the best Spider-Man book that's dropped in years.
Right.
It's like I don't know. Life Story was really good because it was very consistent, and it was also cool to see like the entire. It had a lot of time jumps, but also you're not. This isn't a new story. This is kind of just everything. It is new, but it's like everything that's ever happened to Spider-Man kind of put in one lifespan. So it's okay to miss those jumps are kind of okay because you can fill in the gaps a little bit.
Right.
This, in my opinion, is not because you've got like you're jumping from month to month and you're missing a lot of time. There's a lot of time between those months where stuff can happen, where you see Peter, because something I really wish this book did that it doesn't do is like, yes, we do get them being married, and that's been, I think, the biggest argument of the book is that we finally got a book where they're married. Why are you not happy?
Right.
And it's like, I'm not happy because I'm not getting to see them do it. Like, whoa, hang on. Hang on. It's not that kind of book. Sorry, let me take a step back. Sorry. That was not intentional. I want a book where I can see get me pictures of Spider-Man and MJ doing it.
I need Spider-Man rain.
Yes. No. Oh, God, that probably just peaked the mic on that one.
It did. It flashed red.
Oh, no. Oh, did? Oh, no. Let me take a step back. Sorry, I'm getting loud. What I meant to say was that we don't get to see Spider-Man and MJ being a married couple. Right. We don't get to see those moments that's like important, because if you think anything Spider-Man, one of the things you think of is how he doesn't have a job. It's hard for him to keep up a job because he's being Spider-Man. Right. And on top of that, he can't keep up a job. He's got this responsibility of being Spider-Man, and a lot of his personal life things are just kind of thrown in the mud.
Yeah.
When you have a wife and a family and children, that's not an option.
Right.
It's not an option to throw your life, throw those segments of your life away to be Spider-Man.
Right.
And something I would have loved to seen in this book was I would love to see a moment of, MJ pulling him to the side and saying, hey, I understand you have responsibilities as Spider-Man. Yeah. I understand that those are very important to you, but also when you're doing that, you're not making money. You're not working. You're not supporting our children.
Right.
And you have a responsibility as a father and as a husband to be here for us too. Right. And that puts Spider-Man and Peter on this this branching road that I've never seen him on that road before. I've never seen that before. No. And it's like, what would Spider-Man do? Like, how would he react to that? Because, I think, like, I don't know if this book, if Ultimate how was he making money? Was he getting paid through Norman? I feel like he was. It
might have been mentioned briefly.
But if that's the case, then that's such an easy out.
It is the easiest way out.
And it's just like, I want that, I don't know, I want to see that stress beyond him, because I want to know how he's going to react to that. Mm-hmm. And I want to know truly how his priorities are flowing now that he does have these family responsibilities are more than, saving the city.
Right.
I want to see that, I want to see, him and MJ, like, I want to see them just be a married couple.
In love,
like stuff with like those first few issues with his daughter.
Yeah,
those were amazing moments. Those moments were so good because it was like, she was scared of the black suit, and they had this cute little thing on the roof where she's got like the little scarf on and the goggles, and she's like looking at Peter and like they're trying to figure out what his costume should look like, and then they go swinging together.
Right. That's
like
sweet.
Sneaking his daughter out to go swinging. You know what I mean? That's so cute. And like, but we got it at the beginning, and then we never got it again.
She never shows up really.
Kind of disappeared.
She's there, but
she's there, but there's nothing. Yeah. I don't know.
That's the number one thing in favor of this book. It's not. At least it's not 616.
Yeah.
So the next big thing that comes up. Do you want to talk about it, or you want me to keep going?
Which one is it?
Point 2, the character development.
Yes, I think. Well, you know what? You take this one for me.
Okay.
You can take this one for me.
So a couple of the comments argued that. So what we said was there's so many panels, so many pages of just them talking.
Yes. Lots of talking.
Like there's 3 issues where they go out to dinner with Harry and Gwen, and it's just talking.
MJ,
and nothing happens.
Nope.
They're literally just talking.
Yep. And
like, so life is kind of crazy, man. Oh yeah, life is really crazy, man. Oh, cool, dude. It's like I'm watching Bill and Ted's Wonderful Adventure or something.
I was gonna think of like Wayne's World.
Yeah, Wayne's World or something.
Right on, Garth.
Right. Nothing happens. And so one of the things that we said in the post was that there's just too much kind of talking.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And people took that kind of in a different direction than what we meant.
Yeah.
So one comment says, I just don't trust people whose main problem with a comic is that they have to read. Stop measuring how good a book is by how many fights there are. Mm-hmm. Another person adds on, please do not criticize large amounts of text. There are many people who enjoy it in comics, and as it simply takes longer to read and therefore feels more satisfying. Mm-hmm. And my personal favorite comment. I feel like looking at a comic book is about reading it, not just looking. You buy $200 shoes, you going to wear them? That's my favorite comment.
It's funny. I have a very expensive pair of the Across the Spider-Verse Jordans. I've never worn them. I'm actually saving it for when Beyond comes out. Yeah. Beyond the Spider-Verse. Where do you think that our name came from? I was saving it to wear. But so just I do like looking at my shoes.
You might be wearing those when you're 80.
But dude, I will rock those as 80. I'll be like, yo, I'm cool, and all the little kids are like. Gramps, you're raisined. You look old, you loser.
Right. So that's the point. But that's not what we were really saying. We're not saying we want fights. Give us fights.
Yeah.
So Absolute Batman has a lot of dialogue. Arc M had a lot of dialogue. You're reading a journal entry.
Yeah. Arc M didn't have a single action like fight scene or besides like her shooting her kids. Right. But that's like just a second.
So it's not that we just want action and we want no dialogue. Right. That's not the case. Mm-hmm. And so this is something that I really wanted to bring up with this point. And that is the fact of what does dialogue do? Now, Paul, you make movies. Mm-hmm. And you made a fantastic movie called Fragments.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm not just saying that because we're friends, but genuinely that is a great short film. So if you haven't seen it, go to Fragments.
It's on Fragments Horror Short Film. It's on YouTube. My channel name is just my normal name, Paul Fine. I think Paul Fine. Fine. I don't know. But yeah, give it a watch. I'd love for people to check it out.
Fantastic. So my question to you is a simple one. When you're making a movie, what is the purpose of a scene?
A purpose of a scene is in order to push the plot forward.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we see in Ultimate Spider-Man, we see these moments of when they're at dinner. We should be moving the story along.
Yes.
We should either be advancing the plot in some way,
Yeah.
or we should be revealing the character of who these are. We should, through these conversations, show that Peter Parker is a man with great power who has to juggle two responsibilities.
Yeah.
Mary Jane is also a woman who has responsibilities.
Yeah.
And how is she going to step up in this moment?
Yeah.
Harry is, who is he?
Yeah.
Gwen, what's her motivation?
Yeah.
We don't get any of that.
We get a little bit of it.
We get
Like,
a
you
little
know, we
bit.
get a little bit of, like, you know, Gwen is very concerned with the Council of Mysterios, right? And but we don't ever see MJ. Like, now that you mentioned that, I would love to see an MJ issue of just her. Like that would be a great break, because issues, or at least with like movies or scenes, sometimes you need a break from the main story. And I think especially comic books, because comic books, you know, are like TV shows, right? Like they're going to be longer than a film because they expand for long times. It's okay to take a break from the main story.
Absolutely.
It's okay to show, like, hey, what does MJ do? Or like, what's going on through her head? While Spider-Man stuff's going on, you could see Spider-Man doing something in the background for a second, just to kind of see their worlds kind of intertwine a little bit. But yeah.
And the last thing a scene is to do, either in a movie, a TV show, or even a comic book, is to create some kind of tension or some kind of conflict.
Yeah.
And the only time I see any character reveal, I see any tension in this conversation, in these moments where there's conversation, is the moment where Gwen and MJ go to the bathroom.
Yes.
And Gwen
MJ
opens her mouth and MJ just decks her.
That was great.
That was great.
That was awesome. I'm so glad she did that, because Gwen was kind of a jerk in this book.
But that's the only time.
Yeah. I think a lot of the issues, because, you know, the original Ultimate book did this really well. There were some issues in the original Ultimate book that weren't full of action. There's the one that I've referred to a lot is where Aunt May has a therapy session, and she's talking about how she thinks Spider-Man is connected to her life, but she doesn't know how. And she just feels like that she sees him and she hates seeing him because she thinks of like bad people and Ben and how Ben got killed. And, you know, like those were good issues. You know, just because an issue, like, I don't want people to think that we're like, oh, these are bad issues because there's nothing happening. It's just a lot of the story that's not, there's not a lot of stuff going on. Like, you know, there's not a lot of leading into the next issue or into the next, you know, by what they're saying. It's just it's just them talking, and it's just kind of an issue where and people, you know, because the guy that I ran into at the store, he mentioned like, oh, hey, like, you know, these are very tense issues, and if you think so, then great. But me personally, I don't think they were. They felt very slow. It just felt like I was like wanting to get back to like the other story. And, you know, those moments, you should be invested in everything they're saying. You should be locked in. You should feel the emotion that they're feeling. But I just didn't. I remember when I actually read those issues, I was really bored when I read those. And should I read them again? Probably. But I just was very bored because I was just like, I don't care. I want to know what, I just want to get to the next thing. Because in movies, you have a lot of scenes. I'm trying to like think of a scene that would be really good to like, you know, just
you know,
I don't know.
I think of one kind of off the top of my head a little bit, and I think of Transformers, ironically. So maybe a good example from the first Transformers film is when Bumblebee is captured and he's in the Hoover Dam, and they finally have the glasses. Optimus and the Autobots have the glasses, but Bumblebee had to get captured first. And you see over here Bumblebee's captured. But then the Autobots have this moment of conversation. And I think it's Ironhide who says something basically like, why don't we go in there and just rescue Bumblebee right now? And they have that moment. And Optimus says Bumblebee basically made his sacrifice so that we could do what we need to do to find the Allspark. And they have that conversation. And it's a brief scene compared to everything. But that moment is building tension, it's building conflict, it's revealing the Autobots' as character. That's just one that kind of pops into my head. Maybe it's not like the greatest example, but it's just one that kind of pops in my head as you were talking. Or seen in the recent Superman movie. Superman flies in, he talks to Lois, and
I started to watch Superman. I didn't finish it. I was watching it while I was on my cruise, and I started watching it, but then we had to go out to go do stuff. Okay. But I was invested. Yeah, I was invested. I need to finish it. I need to finish it before I fully judge it, but I need to finish it.
So there's a scene where.
But I did see that scene. That was a good. That was the last scene that I watched, and that was that scene had a lot of purpose. Yeah, and you're interested in it. Like you should be interested in those scenes. Right. Like you should be listening, and you feel the tension. Right. You feel the emotion. I mean, man, I've got so many scenes in my. I guess I'm on the spot, so now I can't think of anything. Right. But
Yeah. So there's that, and I think that's another one of those things that we wanted to address here. But I want to jump to the next point because we kind of already addressed it, but I want to bring it up anyways. Yeah. And that's just the people. Somebody said, we've got everything we've been begging for a Spider-Man comic for years, and guys on the internet are still mad about it. Yeah. So this goes back to what we were talking about in point one. Yeah. We got what we wanted. And you have a great analogy for this. Yeah. About wanting water.
It was It's like I don't know which one because I made two separate analogies, but it's like, hey, can I have a glass of water? And someone brings you pond water. Yeah. It's like it's still water, but it's like it's not the water I want. Yeah. Well, it's still water, so you should still drink it. It's like, well, no, I don't know. It's the I thought your reference was better. What was the Superman?
You want Superman to have. So let's say you want Superman to have kids, right? You want him to be a father. Well, if he adopts Martians as his kids, well, yeah, I mean,
he's getting to have kids,
but is it like the kind of kids you wanted to see him have? Yeah. Like, is it the story that you really wanted to hear all along? Yeah. Yeah. No. It's like
well, shoot, it's like I don't know.
So that's just one of the points. But the next point, I actually think we agree with. And that's that Marvel sabotaged this book.
I completely think that's what happened.
We agree.
Yeah, we agree. I think a lot of people also think the same thing because Marvel, as I mentioned in Death Spiral, the Spider-Man offices at Marvel are really bad. Yeah. They've always had a history. If you listen to any Todd McFarlane documentary, there's a couple out there that are really good. I think you should check them out if you like Todd McFarlane. If you like Spawn. Yeah. But he also mentions that like when he wanted to hop on Spider-Man, everyone told him to stay away from the Spider-Man office because it was always a mess. And they didn't even like his changes. He brought his amazing Spider-Man changes. I didn't mean to do that pun. He brought his changes in and they didn't like it. The Spider-Man office has always been a rough office. Right. Now, I don't know if the Ultimate office had its own thing because it was I don't know. But like this book, it does feel rushed. And I'm not blaming, like, I want to say this as loud and clear as possible. I'm not blaming Jonathan Hickman.
Or Marco Checchetto.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think this was them, like, this. I don't think this was their writing. I don't think this was their plan. Yeah. This was their writing in terms of what Marvel wanted. Yes. So Marvel would say, like, hey, well, we want this. And they're like, okay, well, we have to cut this out, or we have to do this, or well, let's get into this. And they were choosing what they felt were the most important things to kind of tell. Yeah. And I think that was them. Again, I'm not blaming them for this book. I don't think that it was their fault, but definitely Marvel editorial team and their consistent pursuit of events is what killed this book. Yes. Because it was very clear that this was their new Ultimate Universe. They brought it back. If you read Donny Cates' Venom run, that was what that book was actually teasing at points, was the Maker was going back to the Ultimate Universe, and Donny Cates was supposed to have the Ultimate books. But it was very clear that about halfway through this event, Marvel was like, well, I think we should end this book to make an event out of it. Yes. I.e. Ultimate Endgame. And we can make an event out of it, sell that event because everyone's going to buy the event. Because now all the people who are like I'm not going to buy Ultimate Wolverine or Ultimate Avengers or whatever. I'm going to buy Ultimate Spider-Man and that's it. Yeah. But they need all of those people who are buying all those separate books to buy that one book because that's what that's what makes statistics look good. That's like a company thing. A lot of movie companies do that. Yeah. Like Sony did it with Venom and Craven and all their movies. So that's where my mind, especially doing movies and stuff, I think about that stuff a little bit easier, and I can see it pretty clearly whenever I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing. And I think that definitely is what hurt this book, because Jonathan Hickman probably was he probably didn't have an end number.
No, probably not.
He didn't have an end number. He was just going to write this out, and it got to the point where he was setting up those things and he was building up those moments, but then was trying to figure out how to end and what to tell. And who knows if Marvel was also saying, you should do this, you should change this, or, well, I'd like to see Gwen as Mysterio more, and they're not reading the book anyway. They just put the money in their pocket. So I think that's the big thing is Marvel definitely sabotaged this book to make an event out of it. And if you're not keeping up with things, the event's going to, they're going to bring the Ultimate Universe back. They're already talking about bringing it back.
Didn't they announce recently that they're going to do an Ultimate Farewell, one shot issue of where everybody gets to kind of wrap up their book.
Yeah.
And I think Ultimate Spider-Man got one. It's not out yet. It's going to be a little long.
Maybe I think so. And then Ultimate Endgame will end, and then they're just going to bring it all back.
Just going to bring it back.
And that's so awful, because it's like an event is only good when you build up to it, right? Mm-hmm. With I'm going to reference Donny Cates' Venom run again, King in Black. That book, that event was built up for a long time.
Right.
Absolute Batman building up the Joker fight.
Yeah.
You've got to build up to it, because then then its presence is big enough to be like, yeah, this can take place in all the books.
Yes.
So this could be a big enough thing. But the maker just wasn't. It wasn't. He was a tree or something, and or whatever.
Yeah, it was strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Marvel completely sabotaged this book just for the sake of making an event to sell more books.
Right. So we agree with that point.
I agree. I think and I think a lot of people, hopefully, because again, the goal with all this is that we can all kind of come to an agreement of like, oh yeah, okay, I see. You see our point of views, and we see your point of views. Because I understand if you like this and this is your thing, you should buy the trades. You should support the book. Go for it. But this is just what we feel. Yeah. Right.
So another comment to get to is that in the post we said that the emotional stakes were pretty low.
Yeah, they were very low.
The stakes at all were kind of low.
Yeah.
And so they're saying that the last time that the issue was really great was issue 12. It was a Christmas issue, and
that was a good issue,
and that was it.
Yeah.
But after that, there's really no emotional stakes, because that one ends with Peter when he has the black eyes.
That's when, because Peter doesn't talk the entire issue.
Right.
Yeah, he's gone because he's been kidnapped, and you don't know it. He's been kidnapped by Craven and Mole Man.
Yeah. And
at the end, the symbiote is pretending to be Peter while he's away,
right.
which was cool. That was really cool.
And that had some stakes.
It did have some stakes,
but and then Harry dying, and then coming back. Gwen died and came back.
Yeah.
Nobody stays dead.
Because honestly, with the symbiote doing that, I was hoping it was going to be oh crap, this thing is starting to do stuff on its own.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to do that. But then it turned out it was supposed to do that, and that was I don't know. It made you expect things that didn't happen. Yeah, it's oh crap, that's not good.
Right. So the next thing is actually that the supporting cast actually helped the book, because we made the comment in the last podcast that we're reading Ultimate Uncle Ben or
Ultimate Gwen Stacy,
and people said no, the supporting cast is there because you don't care about Spider-Man without a supporting cast. In fact, the comments say, without Peter, none of the other characters matter. Their importance revolves around their proximity to Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't agree, without Spidey, nobody reads the book. Look at MJ Venom book. This book has been the best Ultimate book. Why? Because we love Spidey, and he shines when you care about his supporting cast, which this book does exceptionally well. Like I said, I can't believe you don't see it this way. Look at this from the lens of the book, showcasing what the 616 universe could be, and you might see it a different way.
Mm-hmm. Now, and I think that's a good point, because of course you can't have Spider-Man without a supporting cast.
Right.
But this book, it focuses on them more than Peter.
He's
you
overshadowed.
Exactly. Your supporting cast is supposed to kind of help lift your main character up, and this book doesn't feel like it's doing that.
Right.
We're seeing all and you get interested in these characters. I think if this book would have went on, I think at some point I would want to see an MJ issue. Right. I'd want to see an issue of Gwen being in the Mysterios. I'd want to see all those things build up. But we're not seeing that, because well, we're not seeing Peter. We're seeing that, and that's all we're getting. And it's kind of one of your things where it's like, another analogy is like you're waiting for your main dish, but you're getting all these side dishes.
Yeah.
It's like, this is all great, but when's my steak coming? I want my steak, like this is just, we're not seeing Peter. And like, it's hard to be excited for a Spider-Man book when you're just getting everybody but Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man feels like a side character. Because
he does.
Like when you start reading closer to the end of the book, you get less and less and less of him. And then you'll get like a little bit more. But it's just not, when you've read like, if you love this book, I really want to push this on you guys. If you guys love this book, please read the original Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, please read it. It's so good. It builds up everything so well. And like, just because I'm assuming maybe people haven't read the original, just because it's old, but I think it's very easy to get a hold of. They're everywhere. You can get the big trades. But if you have read it and this is just your opinion, that's great. I'm just saying that like that's what I'm comparing this book to. It's like, well, this book didn't do it as good as this book did. Yeah. Like this book was just perfect, and then this one, it's like I don't know. It's just
No, I agree.
Yeah. Because I think Ultimate Spider-Man is the best, like the original Ultimate Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man book to have released in the last like 20 years.
I would argue
series.
that the original Ultimate Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man story possibly ever written.
I agree. I completely agree with that. Yep.
I would even place it in the top 5 best comic books ever.
It's in the top 3 of my best. If anyone's like, hey, what's a good comic to read? I always recommend the Ultimate Spider-Man. Just like I recommemed your wife. I'm still waiting for her to read it. Gabriella, I need you to read that, please. Thank you. Heart emoji.
So keep going. People said basically that Peter deserves a break from the Parker Luck stuff that we just keep seeing in Amazing Spider-Man. So we're kind of summing that one up. What are your thoughts on that? Does Peter? I don't feel like we complained necessarily about that. Oh well, man, Peter, he's not experiencing Parker Luck in this one. We didn't really necessarily complain about that.
I think instead of like, because Parker Luck is more of the, I think you have to have a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely like a little bit of like, oh, I was late to work and like, oh, this ain't good. But I think it's those little Parker Luck things in this book, because it won't do it. It doesn't do this in other book because he doesn't have like kids and stuff. I think those little Parker Luck things are stepping stones to a big climactic, like you have to make this choice.
Yes.
Because you're screwing up all, like you can't, Parker Luck don't work when you're an adult.
No.
Right? Like you have to stop and start to say like, okay, I have to make a choice. And I want to see Peter make that choice.
Right.
Like I want to see, again, like I mentioned before, I want to see Peter choose between Spider-Man and his family.
Yes.
And what, like, I don't know. I don't know what he would choose. I'd assume his family.
You're right.
But like, I just like, there's still a bit that's like, what if he's got to go?
What if
like,
he picks Spider-Man and like, what does that look like for his marriage? What does that look like for his kids?
Yeah.
He misses out on let's say ball games.
Yeah.
He misses out on.
And what if he chooses to be a father and then something bad happens?
Right.
Because he wasn't there.
Right.
And like Harry being involved was good because they were working together and it allowed for like, hey, I got this, you do your thing.
Yeah.
And we actually saw that a couple times in the book. There were some moments of like, hey, Peter, I've got this. And you would see Green Goblin do things and you wouldn't see Peter, which is kind of going back to that thing of like, we didn't see Peter, Yeah. But I don't know. What do you think about it?
I think you do need a little bit. Yeah. I think, well, as an adult, not everything goes right in your life.
Right. No, exactly.
We both know that.
Yeah.
You have,
fortunately.
And you run into bumps in the road, and it's, to quote Superman, it's your choices, your actions who make you who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Superman movie.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Go ahead. Sorry, keep going.
No, I was saying, so that shows character development for Peter. Again, going back to what I was saying earlier, every scene should either show you the character, should further the plot, or build tension.
Right.
You can take breaks, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
But every scene should do that, and I feel like that lacked majorly in this series.
Yeah, and even some of those conversation pieces have to build up, and you have to see it. You have to see it build up over here, because that gives you insight on what your character's about to deal with.
Right.
Right. Like you seeing like Doc Ock and Aunt May getting married is going to make you say, well, what's that going to do to Peter? Right. Like in the old, that didn't happen in this book. But like you mentioned, like that saying Superman, and it reminded me of the issue of Spider-Man Life Story where Captain America and Spider-Man are talking about going to Vietnam, and Spider-Man says like, you know, Cap's like, I know you're going to make the right decision, and Peter's like, I don't know what to do, you know, like that. Because even like in that situation, because you know that story takes place in that time period, and like all the superheroes were being drafted for the war, and some were going and some weren't, and Peter was like, I don't know what to do. Like, do I go to fight for you know this war to save these people, or do I stay here and help here? And like, it's those, like, I think that is an equal stake to like Peter trying to choose between his family and whatever. Right. Like, I think something like that. And when we saw that I remember I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know what I would do in that moment. Like, what do you do? Right. And that's super relatable because, you know, again, you look at Peter as a relatable character. Everybody looks at Spider-Man as a relatable character. And I think that right there that's your biggest relatable moment is like, what would I do in that situation? Right. You know, because like you have two separate responsibilities that you feel are equally equal, but you got to pick one. Right. You know,
that's one of those comments that was left said, what would you do if your kids were in mortal danger? Mm-hmm. And would you just basically leave them to die? Mm-hmm. And, you know, obviously the question is no. But that tension is not built up in this issue or this series because, as we talked about earlier, just you and me before we started recording, there's never a moment where Richard is ever in truly danger, other than the one issue where he venoms out. Yeah. And then what do his parents react to that?
They're just like, "Oh, you're grounded.
Oh, you're grounded. We heard you did this thing. That's horrible." Yeah. Bad.
There was no like, because with something like that, especially like venoming out and killing people, which I'm assuming he killed people.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Like that's not a you're grounded. That's a, hey, we need to talk about this. Like this is serious. Like this ain't what we do. Like this is bigger than grounding. Like because grounding ain't gonna teach that lesson. Nah. You know, and like So
moving on. One of the people said that they actually liked the month to month jump. Mm-hmm. They said that they felt like it was kind of like watching a TV show. Yeah. And we don't really agree on that. It says that it was a feature of the universe. Like that's how the Ultimate Universe was originally structured to tell a narrative in 2 years, and that's the goal. Yeah. And they said, well, that's the purpose, and by not doing so, you're missing out. Yeah. I don't think so because it still feels like check-ins. Mm-hmm. Because life doesn't happen in 1 day per month. No.
No. And especially like a story like this, you're missing so much.
You're missing so much.
Yeah. And one of the things I compared this to was if you've ever seen Spectacular Spider-Man, that's one of my favorite Spider-Man animated series. That's in my opinion the best. I think it tops the 90s cartoon. Yeah. Even though the 90s cartoon has a very special place in my heart. It does top it. This one story-wise was really good. And it took place like you could like it was what? It was I think it's like 12 issues between, I don't know. It's probably like 15 issues, 15 episodes between like the beginning of the year or like, no, because it's the end of summer is when it first starts all the way up to like Christmas. Yeah. Right. So, but like you don't have to be like, oh, it's February now. There's context clues. You know, obviously you have your environment and you've got it snowing or the leaves being brown or whatever. Right. And heck, I mean, in Spectacular Spider-Man, like you knew it was Thanksgiving because Spider-Man and Venom fight in the Thanksgiving Day parade. You know, like and because it didn't hit me till I was older and I would pay attention to those little things. It was like, oh, I can see what time of year it is just by what's going on in the story. But like they still told
that story in a very fluid way.
Exactly. And I think a month is there's too much time between a month to skip on. Because especially when he's just now being Spider-Man, you want to see that every step of the way. You don't want to jump out for a month. Now, if he's been like Spider-Man now, right? If you read 616 Spider-Man, if a month passes, you can probably assume what he's done. Right. In a book like this where he's new and he's still figuring it out and he's still trying to like figure out how to be Spider-Man and he's trying to also, you know, during different times of the year or whatever, like you want to stick there because he's still new. He's a baby at it and you want to follow him the whole way. Skipping we're skipping major plot points. We're skipping, him learning lessons, him learning how to be Spider-Man. You're skipping maybe strategic things that he's figuring out, or how to swing better. You're because eventually he doesn't have the suit, the black suit that makes him stronger. So I don't think we ever really saw him.
I don't think so.
Try to because that was the first introduction he had. So this is something that when Miles became Spider-Man, he was like, God, swinging's hard. Yeah. And it just he sucked at it at first, and that builds character development. Yeah. And that month to month is just you're missing that. Now again, if this book would have went longer and longer and longer, and then you'd have done that, because I feel like Ultimate kind of maybe I don't know if they really the original Ultimate did that.
I mean maybe a little bit when he's first kind of starting out.
There was probably some time skips, but for the most part, I feel like if they wanted to do the year or month to month time skip, you needed the world. Don't tell. You need to flourish the world a little bit more, and then you can make those assumptions later. Right. But until the world is completely built, you shouldn't do that because you're skipping major steps in your world building process.
Right. Exactly.
Enough said.
Yeah, all right, Stanley. So we also said that Mary Jane and May were sidelined.
Yes.
And they said no, she was far from sidelined. She actually helped in making the decisions.
Yes.
My question is, what decision?
Yeah, what decisions? Because well, May was dead. So
May's the daughter.
My bad. Sorry, I was thinking Aunt May. I was like, wait, Aunt May's dead. Yeah. But there are moments where they did.
Yeah.
But they didn't last long.
No.
May being involved in Peter's costume choice and his costume design is a great moment.
Yeah.
And that's a pivotal, important moment. But that we only got it once. Just because I think this is a good way to also look at it. Just because it happens once in a book doesn't mean we got it. Right. You know what I mean? Especially something like this where everybody's wanting family. Everybody's wanting his family to be built together. Everybody's wanting, everybody's wanting to see Peter in those moments. Just because we get it a one and done, these aren't one and done scenarios, right? Getting the black suit, everybody wants to see Spider-Man get the black suit, and that is kind of a one and done, or a couple, a couple minutes and then done thing.
Right.
But this isn't. This is a consistent thing that must stay.
Right.
It must be introduced and it must stay, and you can't just get rid of it. No. MJ being worried for Peter, and MJ, being a wife to him, and helping him out, but also him kind of being a good husband at times when you that. We want those shocking moments of oh, he's been out fighting all day, he's not been helping, but man, he came home and he brought toys for the kids, and he brought food or takeout. You know what I mean? Little stuff like that. What do you think about that? I don't know. It's you agreed with me. We agreed on that, didn't we?
Yeah, we agreed on that. I mean, you don't get those moments, and I think that would have been a very sweet moment to see. Well, Peter's been out all day. You see the one moment where she kind of throws around divorce. Yeah. But then she's like, "Oh, I love you, and everything's okay." Yeah. Well, okay. All right then. And so also you don't see Mary Jane make any decisions.
Yeah, I don't recall her making any decisions.
There's nothing.
She punched Gwen, which was a decision.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of
wanted to invite Otto to Thanksgiving dinner in issue 23 or 24.
Yeah, because he's Spider-Man 22 all of a sudden.
Yeah. So, what decisions are you kind of talking about there? I'm all for. I'm right there with you. Yeah. If you enjoy this book, go enjoy it. Don't listen to us. Yeah. We ask you taking.
Our opinions aren't that valid. Yeah. We just talking in microphones.
Yeah. We're just two dudes who like comic books, and we're just sharing our opinions.
I just want to see Peter and MJ do it. I think we all want that, because we're still fighting for it, and Marvel editorial won't give it to us. And we're off the air. And we're canceled. It's over.
And the last thing I wanted to bring up is I want to ask you the question. Okay. And this is something we can kind of wrap up on. Okay. Basically, the argument for Ultimate Spider-Man, most people will agree with this. They believe that the run was too short. Mm-hmm. They believe that the pacing was weird. Mm-hmm. They believe that the book had great ideas, but the execution might have been uneven. And ultimately, we agree that it's still better than modern Spider-Man.
Yes.
There's a few other things here, the dialogue, stuff like that, that we disagree on. But basically, this all sums up into, well, it's better than being bad. Mm-hmm. So the question I want to ask you is, does being better than bad automatically make something great?
No, I don't think so. Because I think it's also a symptom of like all of us fans have really wanted this for a long time. You know, We've all wanted Peter to be married. We've all wanted, and when this book got announced, I was pumped. We were so all excited because it's like we're finally getting the book we've been wanting. We're finally getting, and editorial can do their stupid book that nobody wants. They can keep doing it, but we're going to get our book and we're going to read it and we're going to enjoy it and it's going to be awesome. And it was. And I think it's a thing of like you want it to be good so bad. You want to like it because that's how I was with like the Venom movies, right? Yeah. Especially Venom Let There Be Carnage. When that movie came out, I wanted it to be good so bad that I convinced myself that it was great. Right. Like the first like when I went seen it and other people were like, "Oh, how was the movie?" I was like, it was so good. Yeah. It was so awesome. But like looking back, I'm like, it wasn't. And I wanted it to be so bad. And I think that's what a lot of people are dealing with this book is that we're getting an older Peter. We're getting Spider-Man with kids and Mary Jane and they're married. And we all want that and we're begging for it. But just because they gave it to us and just because it's there doesn't mean it's what we want because they didn't give us all of it. Right. You gotta have build up and emotion and story there. You can't just have that circumstance there and it's like, oh, this is great because we got the circumstance. Again, this ain't just the black suit, right? Like this ain't a one and done thing. You gotta have it stick around and we want it there and we got what we wanted, but we didn't fully get what we want. And we want this to kind of keep building and we want it to grow and to get it throughout the whole story because that is what like us as adults, like, we're both getting older. Heck, you're about to have a child. Yeah. I know the thing you probably want to read more is how does Spider-Man deal with having kids? Right. Getting married. Like you got married. How does Spider-Man deal? Like, how does he deal with those things? Because we're growing up and he was that for us in high school. Well, how does he deal with getting bullied? Well, how does he deal with this? Right. Well, how does he deal with that? How does he deal with getting his homework turned in and trying not to be late? And also taking down the lizard, how does he do all that? But now we're all at this age where we want to see Spider-Man as an adult doing these adult things, and we're not full. I don't think we're fully getting it. I'm not fully getting it, and you agree. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think that makes the book good. I think this is an okay book. I think it's got good moments. There are moments I really like, but unfortunately, the whole thing summed up in one big package is just not what we wanted. And I'm really shocked at how the fan and if there's some fans that say this is exactly what we want. This is the best book to ever be out. This is the best Spider-Man book to ever release. And if that scratches your itch, then great. But for me personally, it doesn't because it doesn't hit those things that I'm looking for in a Spider-Man book. Right. Like I would love to read about Gwen being Mysterio, and that sounds really cool. Yeah. But I would prefer to have Spider-Man changing his kid's diaper and trying to save the city. Yeah. I'd rather read that a little bit more than this because I want to see what that looks like. Right. That's my opinion on it.
No, I agree. I'm absolutely there with you. And because you hit on something there. When you and I read Ultimate Spider-Man, we were probably getting bullied. Mm-hmm. That's when I read it. Yeah. That's when I discovered comics. Mm-hmm. And I remember reading Ultimate Spider-Man and being like, this is me.
Yeah, that's me the same way, yeah.
And so now as a fully grown adult, again, married, about to have kids, I want to be able to read a character again. The only character who's been married and has had kids is Superman. And Superman's been around for almost 90 years.
Yeah.
Almost 100 years.
Yeah.
And, and it took him forever to get married and finally have kids. And that's what fans want. And that's what we love. Mm. But Spider-Man is meant to be the relatable character. Superman is relatable if done right. But it's Spider-Man that so many people relate with, so many people connect to. Arguably, Spider-Man is more popular than Superman.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
and whether that makes me happy or not, I don't know.
Yeah,
but those people who grew up reading Ultimate Spider-Man, they want to see an adult Spider-Man with kids. I would say, like, I would love to see Brian Michael Bendis return.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Well, I guess
Is he back with Marvel?
I don't think so.
Okay, I feel like I thought he came back to write something.
He might have done a story in the Spider-Man Superman book that's coming out.
Maybe that
would have been what it is. But no, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up,
there's our opinion on Ultimate Spider-Man.
We are not talking about this book again.
This book is gone. We're leaving it in the past. If they relaunch it, I don't know.
Maybe we'll talk about it.
We might. They'll everybody go, read it now.
Yeah.
Read it now.
It's good now. We were wrong.
We were wrong.
But we'll continue to talk about Absolute Batman and some of the other series.
Yeah.
I feel like Absolute Batman will be now our main.
I think
meaning to.
Yeah, I think Absolute Batman's going to be the big one. Because it's still coming out. It's really schedule's weird. It's like one issue. And then like 2 weeks later, another issue, and then like a month.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's I'm fine.
I'm fine.
As long as it's good, that's all I care about. Because the good books are few and far between.
Yeah, it's true. All right,
everybody, thank you so much for listening. I'm one of your hosts, Paul Fine.
I'm Clayton,
and this has been the Beyond the Pool List podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.